The fuck? Oh, there he goes.
Wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned.
Somebody want for me. Stand where nobody supposed to be. I proposed it. Being a wreck of emotions. Ready to go whenever you let me know. The road is long, so put the pedal to the flow. The energy on my trail, my energy unavailable. I'ma tell him I send away. Go through on the cloud. I try to the top. I've been out of shape, thinking out of box. I'm an astronaut. I blast it off the planet. Rock that cause catastrophe. And it matters more because I had it. Now I had a thought about wreaking havoc on an opposition. Kinda shocking. They with a static with position. I'm automatic. Quarterback, I ain't talking shit.
Second and 4. The Raiders have a new set of downs and a whole lot more. This White.
The Raider way, or the Raider tenets of commitment to excellence. Just win, baby. Once a Raider, always a Raider.
In a little bit of trouble, but Adams gets him out of it. He got free in the secondary to the 23-yard. Mahomes throws, and he's picked off. And this one's going back for a touchdown.
This community is the cradle of professional football. When our heroes of the past become our legends of the future, and we all know time never really stops for the great ones. It reaches out and wraps them in a cloak of immortality. You know, it was in 1963 that it was on to Oakland. I was 33 years old. I was the head coach, general manager, and I can remember attack, pressure, the vertical game, the bump and run, just win, baby, dominate, commitment to excellence, the famed silver and black, pro football's dynamic organization, take what you want, pride and poise, the reborn players, the holy roller, the miracles of George Blanda, ghost to the post, the immaculate reception, the indestructible Jim Otto, George Blanda, the greatest clutch player the game has ever known, Willie Brown, the magnificent cornerback, Gene Upshaw, the only player who played the Super Bowl as a starter in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, Ted Hendricks, the consummate linebacker. Fred Blitnikoff isn't with us today. He's a coach for the Raiders. 14 years, and I don't have to tell you about his artistry. And of course, the magnificent Art Shell, the giant head coach of the Raiders today. Tom Flores, a star player who coached us to 2 Super Bowls. You throw in Al Davis, and you've had as diverse a group as you could find in this world. And yet, there was a common bond. They played for the organization. They wanted to win for the organization. They loved their organization. And most of all, they loved each other.
And to the people and the community in Oakland, we're proud to represent you and we intend to hold it.
I just want to say, 2 years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future. And with all the great teams we've had, I think today that this organization, this team, this coaching staff dominated so decisively that 2 things must be said. Not only, in my opinion, are you the greatest Raider team of all time, I think you rank with the great teams of all time that have ever played any professional sport.
Salute Raider Nation. Appreciate you all showing up, man. Appreciate you all being here tonight. Salute to the chat. Salute to the mods in the chat. Salute to the panel. Salute to Noah, Ozzy, Eric, and Rudy. Appreciate all you guys showing up tonight, man. Really do appreciate it. Outside of that, man, got a lot of news to talk about, a lot of things to talk about. Salute, Ben. Appreciate you, bro. Salute to everybody that's chatting over here. AJ, Turtle Lord, frickin' Seth, Rudy, all you guys. Al, appreciate all you guys, man. Outside of that, there's a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of news going around, like, I guess their main news is like their super news with their super OC, top secret OC candidate over here. So I don't know, Noah's got a topic here that if they're waiting on, what is it, waiting on?
Clint Kubiak and the Niners.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to intertwine all this into one frickin' pull up. He said, I want to pull up. I sent you a text. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. See if I can pull it up right here. Should be there, man. Outside of it, we'll start with your topic, basically. I sent it, Ben, so it should be in your deal, man. Let's see here. It says, will the Raiders wait on hiring an OC until after the Super Bowl? Which is your topic. And then I don't know if you want to intertwine in, their top secret fucking... I thought they said this guy had relation with, like, the Raiders, so that's the only reason that I was sitting there thinking about, oh, dude, and man, I'm sorry, but I do want to give a shout-out to everybody over on Instagram, man. Like, I do, man. Like, I really want to, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I do appreciate all you guys watching over there, man. That was my bad, dude. I do appreciate everybody over there. I don't know who's all over there because there's a hell of a lot of people, man. So, like I say, I really do appreciate all you guys stopping by, so... Like I say, hopefully you can intertwine both of you guys. I'll try to watch you guys in the chat over there. I always say if you guys want to talk and be with everybody that's over here, you can just join the YouTube channel at the Death Star Report and talk in that chat where it'll pop up on the deal here in StreamYard, everything like that. Otherwise, when you're over in the Instagram, I got to watch this monitor, everything like that, so it becomes a real pain in the ass. But I do watch it, so you guys all know. Outside of it, you're more than welcome to start off the topic. But I forgot to tell everybody on Instagram, which are talking with, they are over there, and I didn't want to just ignore them. So outside of that, you can go.
Yep, for sure. Raiders, they still haven't hired an OC. They fired... what's his name? Bardegree 10 days ago now. Everyone's been looking at what OC options we have had. Zach Robinson was a big name that we were all looking at that got picked up by the Falcons this past week. So, he's out. Cliff Kingsbury, I know some people are cold and not really willing to see what he can do if he does get hired here. So, there's another option that people are kind of, waiting on, I guess. And I think the reason I bring up this topic is because if the Raiders were interested in, or if Kingsbury had already nailed his interview, as people would have, suggested, I think he would already been, on the coaching staff. But, the reason, obviously the Raiders still see something else in Kubiak, the Niners OC, that that they want him to coach the Raiders, offense. I mean, it's crazy for us to see Kubiak. He's been one of these high-rolling names, that got promoted after McDaniel left for Miami. He's been able to elevate Brock Purdy as a passer. He's been able to get the team rolling, but really without a run game. When Christian McCaffrey is not playing, which is always a shocker. As an offense in San Francisco, there's as many weapons as you could possibly have. And really, it's almost as similar to the Raiders' offense minus the QB. You got a relatively strong offensive line. You got great receivers. You got a really solid running back. You can argue, uh, McCaffrey is, tiers better than Josh is this past season, but the point still stands that our offense is looking to be built by the same way as Kubiak, and waiting until after the Super Bowl. This is just the rules now of the game because the Niners obviously they won yesterday, and we can't interview anybody from either coaching staff until after the Super Bowl is over. So that's the reason why I had the topic titled like this. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us wait a few more weeks until it's official that whether it be Kingsbury or Kubiak, I don't think a move's going to be made for the next 2 weeks or so because of, the Niners win last night. But, Kubiak, my stock on him is getting much higher considering the idea that Kingsbury has not already been hired as a Raider or to be at least the OC, especially after all the hype that at least the media and Raiders beat writers were already putting out earlier in the month. One has got to think that the Raiders, they're looking for a different direction, at least for a guy to lead their offense. And, I want to hear what your thoughts are. Who do you think their OC is going to be? Why do you think they're waiting 2 weeks? Do you have another option in mind? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think for me, like I said, I think like Kingsbury I thought was going to be their number one. For as much information as I heard from it, I still believe that they do want him to be their OC. The problem with it is, from the reports that I heard going over the weekend from people, is that they're worried about not having continuity with the team going forward. So what they're worried about is like, say Kingsbury comes in, has a good year, changes the whole entire deal to their Perkins or to their Raid. He goes out there, frickin' has a good year, and then he takes off as a head coach. Who takes over for him? Like, who's his successor? Like, we've already had this issue right now with Josh McDaniels, so I don't think it'd be a good option to do that. I think what the Raiders are trying to do, which I think is smarter, and I, like I said, I've Clint Kubiak, dude. I mean, I think he's a great option. I've talked about him on this show multiple times. He comes from Kyle Shanahan's tree. All the guys that's come from the offensive side of his link tree have all been great, dude. They've all been successful everywhere they've gone. The only thing I see with it being an issue is that, like, say that you come down later on, salute Ben, that you come on like later on in the, so like say that they decide that they want to stay with AOC, and it's kind of something like with the Texans, like say that CJ Stroud goes out, has a great year this year, and then the OC goes and leaves there and goes to another team. Who replaces him? It's like you almost revert all of his progress back in that 1 year. And I think that's what they're going to try to avoid going forward, is getting an offensive coordinator that has more tenure to be with the team. So be it 2-3 years, but it gives it time that other people can obviously come up, have a successor if he leaves or something like that. I just think that they're more worried about if they go into like this year with Cliff and then he has the success, his odds are he will most likely get hired. He has a higher success to be able to do it than anybody else. So to me, I think that's why they'll probably wait it out to hire, just like you're saying, maybe till after the Super Bowl. Then you have all this news that's come out just of recently with, this fucking guy that has connections with the organization or with the staff or something of those factors. I mean, there's a lot of different things that are coming out. And then some of the candidates, which we'll talk about after you guys speak on it. Salute, Robert. Appreciate you, bro. But Eric, if you want to speak on it, you're more than welcome to speak on it.
Actually, so for me, I would love for Kingsbury to be the OC. in my opinion, just because with him, that tells me, hey, we're moving up a quarterback that fits that system. But if it is Kubiak, I mean, he has came from that tree from Shanahan, and also he was in the Vikings, right? Wasn't he? Wasn't he with
Yeah,
Cousins?
he was there in what I think 19, 20, 21.
Right,
As
and
though
Cousins.
he had he had a 4,300 yard season with Cousins. I think he had like a 35 and 7 touchdown or some type ratio. He's had
They
really
all
good
depends.
success, Kubiak. You know, like I said,
Right.
his connection with other people, um, his connection with other people or not could, and yeah, Silver and Black, it could be Frank Rich too. But I mean, why would we want him? Why would we want Frank Rich, dude, if he was over there in Carolina and he had fucking Bryce Young and that dude's trash and he obviously got fired. Like I'm cool on that,
Oh,
dude. Like I'm
hey, Dustin, my comment on that. Frank Wright, he ruined Bryce Young's rookie year. Ruined that man, and thankfully they got help over there so he can look legit. But no, if he ruined Bryce, imagine when we does the Aiden or whoever the QB is next year, bro. I don't want that. No, you need somebody that got experience, but also is new to the game. Like I wouldn't. Just give me a mixture of both, man. Give me something I ain't seen in my life, like something out of Madden. Give me some crazy formations where you got Jacoby under center and he's rolling out and throwing out to Devontae White out. Like something like that. Like I want a OC that be in his bag. I don't want no standard old no. The game has evolved, bro. Like the statue quarterback, that's dead. Dead. Gone. So we need we need somebody who's adapting with the times, bro. And if it is Kubiak, sure. But a lot of Raider fans, including myself,
that is very true, Travis.
would not mind having Kingsbury just because of what he did in Carolina with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had great years under him. Now, not much success in the playoffs, but stat wise, Kingsbury and him worked great together. And then he worked with Mahomes, down there at Tech, made him look good. So bring it.
Yeah, and
I'm
Andy
all
Reid,
for it.
people got to remember, Andy Reid's what finished them off. He's what got them started on the right way. I mean, I think what people notice is just the success of what he's done with the people like Menzel, Mahomes, frickin' Murray, those types. But Andy Reid has a big deal because of Patrick Mahomes too. You know what I mean? Like he just has, I guess you'd say, like the starting point of moving in that direction, but I still think Andy Reid had the more fame of why Mahomes. So I didn't mean to cut it off, but that's all.
Yeah, you're right about that. Because Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick. Don't you notice that they're all the QBs are mobile? Alex Smith, he was in the dirt in Frisco. Comes here. I mean, I'm sorry. Comes to the Chiefs, had a career resurgence, and does great. So Andy Reid's built different, but he has done well with quarterbacks that are mobile. That's his thing. And then Kingsbury, he does well with quarterbacks who are mobile. You see at USC when he was there with Caleb. Caleb had a great year. His defense, no comment. That's a whole different conversation, Dustin. But Caleb, offensively, he did great with Kingsbury. So why not bring that to here? And
Blue Wild Turkey.
whoever the QB is in the offseason, have him work with KK, and let's bring some excitement to this team because we gonna need it.
No, hell yeah. I mean, I agree. You need something different with the type of players that we have here for sure. Ben, don't keep you around sitting too much. Appreciate you showing up here, man. Really do. So
It's all good.
basically, if you want to speak on this topic about the OC, or basically who you see, whoever we're getting, or what type of news you think from, whatever lists or whatever things you may have heard today. So
Well, I just look at it like this, bro. The Raiders, they can't afford to fuck this up. Mark Davis can't afford to fuck this up, dude. So I don't think the Raiders are really gonna rush into anything right off the bat. in my honest opinion, I know this is going to rub some Raider fans the wrong way. He rushed into signing Antonio Pierce. The Antonio Pierce thing, I felt like Mark Davis was handcuffed to make that decision. The fans wanted him. The national media wanted him. Everybody wanted him. So he kind of was forced to make that decision. So in my opinion, who I want to be the offensive coordinator is just somebody that's innovative, right? Somebody that's going to come in here and put their own stamp on shit, but not be a bland type, coordinator. At the end of the day, how you win in the National Football League on offense is being able to run the ball at a high clip and do it consistently. So whoever we do bring in now as an offensive coordinator needs to have some kind of success in being able to establish a run game. Because in the way Antonio Pierce wants to play on offense, he wants to run the ball at you and beat you physically the entire game. So whoever our offensive coordinator is going to be, it's going to have to be that guy. Frank Reich, he's a good coordinator. Was he a bad head coach? Yeah, I mean he was a pretty bad head coach, but you can't put all that on him neither. What happened in Carolina? Carolina had a fucking diminished roster. Their roster was destroyed. They've never really had a good roster since Steve Smith left and, Julius Peppers left. And they really haven't been, this team that's looked great on paper, So their offensive line was shit. Their wide receivers were shit. They traded away their best wide receiver in an attempt to grab a quarterback. And I thought he did with what he could with that team. And I hate to tell you guys this, man. I mean, I don't know how y'all feel about Bryce Young, dude, but he's terrible, dude. He's fucking terrible. He can't see the field. He's too little. He can't see over his offensive lineman. That dude's going to be a busted first overall draft pick. So I'm not putting that on him neither. The general manager kind of fucked that whole team over. That's the reason why they fired their general manager. But if it's not going to be Frank Reich, I like Cliff Kingsbury. Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, Cliff Kingsbury, he never really did shit with the Cardinals, but he kind of did. You know what I mean? He made that offense somewhat respectable over there in Arizona. You know what I mean? He had Kyler Murray looking like he was a solid quarterback. I mean, look what happened to Kyler Murray once fucking old buddy left, dude. Kyler Murray's never looked the same. Now he stays injured all the goddamn time. He throws a bunch of interceptions. He turns the ball over. So those are my options, bro. I want Reich or Kingsbury. If not, then it's going to have to be some guy out of left field that I've never heard of, which is probably what it's going to be. Something's telling me, dude, we might be in on somebody on the Niners or the Chiefs staff, and that's the reason why we haven't hired them yet. Because those are the only guys. Those are the only two teams that have coordinators that might be available. But I don't think we can interview yet because they're still. Pyro. I do like that dude from the Lions, their offensive coordinator. I don't think he's going to leave to be an offensive coordinator again, but if we could find a way to snatch him up, dude, I would love to bring him over. But that's my thoughts on that. What up, Pyro?
Nah, hell yeah, I agree, man. I mean, like I said, if I'm going out, like I think for me, like I said, so like Travis said and you both said right now, yeah, you can't really from a head coach to an OC, because I would have to say the same thing with Josh McDaniels. He's probably better OC than he'll ever be a head coach in his life. You know what I mean? So I guess some people carry those tangibles with them. The only thing I would say before I would have to go for Frank Wright is I would go after Eric Bieniemy. I mean, that dude is, I don't know if I say his last name right, okay? I make that right away. I'm not if I say it right or not, but all I would say is like for him is he has proven done with Washington and the Chiefs, dude. Like this guy knows the shit as a play caller, and you're telling me he can come over here and have Devontae, Jacoby Myers, frickin' Tucker. He has a whole entire weapon, a plethora of weapons here. So I mean, I think he would be a great add out of. So like again, today somebody sent me a list of people from another channel, you know, and they'll show like, I guess they had their list as like Bieniemy. They had like Arthur Smith on that shit. What did I tell you guys before? It was some weird fucking people. They had Adam Gase, dude. Fucking, they had Rich Gase, fucking Arthur. Why the hell Arthur Smith of all people? That dude had the fucking Falcons do that. Pretty good roster over there. They straight suck. Like, I don't even know why we would even bring up that guy. I think Eric Bieniemy was probably he's the most probably intriguing person. Hugh Jackson, when I heard about that report came out, somebody sent it and said like, oh, he had a connection with the Raiders, assistant, head coach. this and that. I was like, Hugh Jackson instantly. I was like, there's no doubt about it. Like, but then reports came out saying that he had ties with people within the organization, you know, like right now. So that can go all kind of different ways, you know, with Frank, it can be with Hugh. Like if they're saying like with the Raiders, it's clearly Hugh Jackson, like there's no doubt about it. But if they're just leaving it open like that, it can be any person. And Adam Gase is trash. He went back to high school. Like, why would he even want that dude here? Like, that should be the last dude on the list I would even want to look at, you know? Like, and they're putting these type of guys on there. I said, like, Eric is probably the one guy on that list I would most definitely seek after. And I'm not going to say Frank wouldn't be a good option. The problem is like, I mean, coming right out of his fire, come to hire, would you want to give him a year off, maybe clear his shit, or is he going to, I don't know how to go with that guy. I just know, like, as much as even with that guy having allegations about hitting his woman and the Raiders not even going for that shit at all, I mean, we've done it with Cable, so I don't see if they would do it with him. But that's all I would say. I would favor him more than anybody on the list. If you're just asking my personal opinion, I think that guy is he's done the most. He's got the most trickery type plays. His shit works, dude. I literally said, look what he did with frickin' what's his name? Sam, is it Sam Howell? Is that his fucking the quarterback? Fucking yeah, I mean, he made that dude look like a little baller, dude. He's putting up 300 yards, 400 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. I mean, he made him look pretty good for a minute. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he went out and did it every single game. He just made him look pretty good. So, for me, I would kind of more indicate that guy for us if we can keep him for OC for the next few years. He knows the Chiefs. You know, he's practiced against that defense for years. I mean, I think he'd be a great add to us for, you know, with what he would do. But, again, I think we'll hear a lot of names. But, I mean, I personally feel like if we're not getting, I would say Clint Kubiak would be the guy I would most definitely seek after 100% if we can sign him. Like, there's not a doubt in my mind. I've just said the Niners offensive coordinators, quarterback coaches that come from Kyle Shanahan's Linktree are all successful like a motherfucker. So, I mean, I would probably take a swing on him. He's had good success, and it's not that where people are like, yeah, but he's a offensive pass game coordinator. But yeah, go back when he was in Miami, or not Miami, but Minnesota. He had a lot of success with them really quick. So outside of that, Ozzy, you want to add to it or talk about it?
Yeah, I'll talk in a minute. First of all, salute to everybody in the chat. Salute Ben, good to see you on here. Salute Eric, Noah, Rudy, Dustin. But yeah, I kind of agree. I'm a Cliff guy. Like, that's the dude I want just because he's the most proven out of everybody. And I feel like I kind of agree with Ben in the sense people might not like what I have to say. But, like, yeah, they definitely rushed in to sign AP because there was so much
I 100% agree with that. I'm sorry I didn't comment on that, but I was 100% hardball. I thought we fucked the pooch on that massively. Every motherfucker knows my opinion on that shit. I even got dude dick riding the fuck out of me about that shit, but I don't really give a fuck because, again, it's my decision who I want to pick and who I want. It wasn't like AP was the head coach, and then I was like, yeah, get that dude the fuck out. He was an intern. He never got the label pulled off. He had to go through the process. Therefore, he had to compete against motherfuckers. My candidate was motherfucking hardball, like a motherfucker. And outside of that, yes, I agree 1,000% that I feel like he got pressured by the fans massively and the players. That's why I made even thumbnails where fucking players don't run the team, coaches do.
And the offense is going to be so key to what we do.
And I'll get
to
because
we all know our
the
defense is
know
going
on
to be
Instagram, man. I will get to your guys' comments, bro. So don't think I'm not seeing them. I can't pop them up on this screen on fucking YouTube, man. So, but I do see them over here. So don't think I don't.
We all feel like our offense has got to step up this year too, right? We all feel like our defense should be able to build on what we did last year. So that's the reason why I said, like, we can't fuck this up, dude. Like, we can't. We cannot rush it and just getting any no-name coordinator. Go ahead, Ozzy.
Yep. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so I'm kind of with Ben on that. Like, no, we can't afford to. Like, we can't get a rookie head coach and then get like a rookie offensive coordinator. If we're gonna go down this road of having AP, all right, we kind of like signed on for that already. So now I want Cliff Kingsbury, because he's had experience as a head coach, and he's an experienced OC, and he's a proven quarterback developer in a year when we most definitely need to draft a fucking quarterback. So if whoever we get at OC, I want them, their background to at least be a fucking quarterback coach, and a successful one at that. I don't want this some guy that's coming in that's like a fucking run game coordinator, like that Luke Getsy or whatever, who had a good run game, but his fucking passing game sucks. So like, I definitely don't want a guy like that. Like, if we're gonna get,
we got to
like,
get
a
somebody
guy
that's a veteran, man. I think that's the reason why they brought in Marvin Lewis, man. They're bringing a bunch of veteran guys that have been there and done that for AP, and they need to get an offensive coordinator that has had a successful offense in this league around AP.
I agree 100% on that, man. That's exactly where I'm at with it. And like, I think that's why they're doing their due diligence, which is fine. Like, maybe there's someone they're looking at from the P.S. Niners. Like, at least Kubiak has that experience with the Vikings as well. He has experience working with Kirk Cousins. So another thing I could look at when that name popped up is like,
I agree.
If we get Kubiak, do they go after Cousins in free agency? Like, is that a possibility? Because he's worked with him in the past.
Well, from what I heard is Cousins is going to want upward of $45 million a year next year, Brian.
Yeah, that guy's smoking. That guy's smoking straight rocks, bro. Like, literally.
I'll take
yeah, there's no way you can give him off ACL tear, dude. And this is something that I said to other people in other conversations is the difference. Rodgers is a fucking elite, dude. He's been one of the best of all time. And not only that, he's under contract with them, so they don't have any choice, dude. This fool's not under contract. Like, why would they just be like, oh, hell yeah, you got an ACL tear, let me give you fucking $45 million.
Yeah, fuck that.
Okay. Fuck yeah. They'll probably be like, okay, 1 year, $25, $30 million, let's see where you're at and go from there, dude.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
if you're not a mobile quarterback, you're going to have to go somewhere that has a fucking line so you don't get fucking murdered, turn into a Jimmy, you know what I mean? Like, fucking... Yeah, you can't do that, man. Like, it's not, you know, Dald over here says Kirk Cousins would be a good fit for the Raiders. He's pocket passer that would benefit our offense. Only if they change the offensive line to be more in the pocket passing type line, you know, like I've said, I think if they were going to go that route, AOC would make more sense just because he's young. I've said if people go out and do the research on his progress throughout this year and Derek Carr's first year. I mean, he had a better year than Derek Carr, and we had Carr for 9 years, and he's one of the best fucking, so-called stat carriers for the Raiders, outside of it. I mean, I think AOC would probably most definitely get at least a second look coming into next year for sure. And for me, I've said it. I think it 100% has to be a coach that knows how to evaluate quarterbacks, dude. Like, it has to be somebody that, one, don't need somebody to watch over them, because I've said this over time and time again. If you're getting a guy that's never been in the position of that position, I've said, like, when you're looking at guys that come from McVay or Shanahan, I mean, Shanahan's just had success with it. But I would still have to say McVay, the Bengals, any other guys where you got OCs that are quarterback coaches trying to become OCs, and we're just like jump the gun and we're like, yeah, let's take this guy that's never play called a day in his fucking life. I've said people are bypassing the main look that the head coach is the main play caller. So like that guy's like Greg Olson to John Gruden. Like that's how you got to look at some of that shit sometimes. Like, couldn't they go on and have success? Yeah, nobody's denying that. But that guy's like Greg Olson to fucking these guys, man. Like, you can't just hop the gun with those dudes. And I've just said, like, when you're looking at Cliff Kingsbury, he's had the success. So you're not sitting here, you're not acting like, oh, I don't know if he's going to be successful. You know he's successful. It's just, I think we'd be more beneficial if we stayed in the West Coast. Like, if I'm just being honest, I don't think you make as much change. You're able to still certain personnel here, things of those factors. I think it would just be easier for our team going down the long run than switch to their Perkins and then fucking him leave and nobody be there to take over. That's all I'd be worried about.
Yeah, I agree. But what annoys me about that is if we're going to go down that route, it's like, why the fuck didn't we go after Zach Robertson then? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we're going to go with a guy that wasn't proven, that runs the West Coast system, why the fuck didn't we go after a guy that at least comes from a proven fucking link tree? Like,
maybe just well, here's the thing, because Robinson was COC.
Slow down.
Let's get this straight. Atlanta has compared to us right now, Atlanta's offense is much better. All they need is a quarterback, and they might be a top 5 team next year. The way that people view them now is completely skewed because of how Arthur Smith completely tanked that team by playing through his backups instead of the actual weapons. Don't forget, there you have Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier, all these guys, and you have all these old linemen coming back too, like Mitch McGarry. It's a very dangerous offense they have, and I think Robinson, finds more potential in trying to recreate like that 21 Rams team in those Falcons than he would with the Raiders. So it's got to be mutual benefits, because that's really what it is, especially for a coach switching teams. You have to have some skin in the game doing that type of shit. So I don't blame him for picking Atlanta over Vegas. I'm just gonna put that out there. We gotta keep it straight. Even if Mark offered him more money, or the guy in charge of hiring coaches,
Dalt, we'll get to your question.
Got a bigger package for him. It doesn't really matter if he's not going to want to choose us over a team that's more talented anyways. So I just want to throw that out there regarding the Zach Robinson thing. But you can continue.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can put us on par with Atlanta. I mean, we got Devontae Adams, fucking Jacoby Myers can be technically like a wide receiver 1B. You got fucking Trey Tucker, you got Michael Mayer. Like, we got some weapons. You got Josh Jacobs, got some weapons over here as well. So I don't know. I feel like both teams are pretty equal offensively outside of quarterback. And then as far as our offensive line goes, which I'll get into later, because I think I put offensive line as one of my topics. Our offensive line isn't as bad as people think it is. Like, I've been looking for a free agency offensive line, and most of them are shittier than what we've got already. So.
No, I agree. I think there's certain different types. Rudy, you have anything you want to add to it?
To me, the West Coast offense would be a change, even though the team's been through the West Coast, but they've been 2 years with the Air Raid offense with Josh McDaniels. So you'd be changing the running game scheme if you were to go back to West Coast. But it could be it's a make or break. But it depends on the offensive line. And, Josh McDaniels, he got rid of a lot of O-line that were from their West Coast, like Cotton, who's with the Miami Dolphins. He was one of our guards. We had a zone block defense, and we went to a different zone block offense, and now we switched to a power block offense. It's really
but I would probably disagree against that, because for one, if anybody watched the games, Bo Hardegree did not just run one or the other. He ran one game, won the next game, then he ran both during the game. So he never just switched and committed in there. He ran both styles of zone and power throughout the whole rest of the year. So
yeah,
I get what you're saying, like that Josh's intentions was to go that way, but Bo ran both schemes. So I would, and I agree with people in the deal with like Ozzie, but again, that'll be a later topic. I just wanted to say it.
Yeah. I do with the OC situation. I think Kingsbury would be more logical because he's more experienced. But between him and Eric Bieniemy, but if we had to go with the Kubiak, the son of Gary Kubiak, it wouldn't be a bad move. So either of the three offensive coordinators would be good, but we don't want to go with some ordinary offensive coordinator. We need a coordinator that's got a strong offensive mind, because if you look at AP, he's really just a motivator. He's not really a guy that's going to time manage and everything. He's just not that kind of coach. He's the same thing as a Hugh Jackson. It's kind of ironic we're going to say Hugh Jackson being offensive coordinator. I wouldn't go with Hugh Jackson as an OC. He's a great motivator too, but his is a little older and outdated play calling. And I know he went to being a head coach with the Browns, and then he started being friends with his old teammates from Cincinnati. Ended up being an offensive coordinator again with the Cincinnati Bengals, which is where he came from originally. But it's crazy. I say go big or don't go at all. And I feel like we didn't hit that with the head coach. But if we're going to go with OC, man, This is, I mean, we're competing against now not just Andy Reid, Sean Payton. We're going against Jim Harbaugh, and we got to get a guy that can outplay call these guys. And I don't know. I mean, it may not even be enough if we get Kingsbury or even Kubiak, because Andy Reid, he's proven he outdid John Harbaugh, who's actually used to work for him when they were part of the Eagles. I mean, it's like they couldn't slay the Sith Master. That's who.
Yeah, I mean, and Lamar's a fucking dipshit, dude. I mean, fucking leave it to Lamar's dumbass throwing triple coverage. Fucking, I mean, you can most definitely falter that motherfucker for that shit too. So.
Yeah, the Chiefs. That was a smart move, blitzing DBs
like that
Lamar
dude
Jackson.
and Detroit fucking waving to the Niner fans like, "Oh yeah, bye, yeah, fucking bye, bitch." Fucking, I hate the fucking Niners, but karma just smacks motherfuckers in the face for shit like that. I'm not even gonna lie, dude.
I was shocked they came back. I thought the Niners were done. I really did, but they came back though.
Yeah, old buddy Dan Campbell. I knew when he went for it on that fourth down. When they got the ball back, when the fucking Niners took the field goal, I'm like, dude, just get it back to the score it was, dude. There's like more than half the quarter ran off, and it's gonna be the same score it was. Now this dumbass motherfucker went for it. Like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. That's why I knew the game was over when he did that. I texted Pizzle. I'm like, dude, this shit's a wrap, dog. I was like, you cannot make these kind of decisions in a championship game. You know what I mean? Like, bro. I mean, you would just think logically, because he was like, they're like, it's analytics. Like, you would think logically, right? What is the biggest comeback in the last 22 minutes of an NFC championship game? That's what it was. It was like 7 and something and some change in the third quarter. So it'd have been like 22 minutes. Has a team ever come back by 17 points in 22 minutes in the NFC championship game? Like, I don't think that's happened, very often. So analytically, I think you guys were a bit in a good fucking spot. You just kicked the goddamn field goal right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it was
what
bad.
about what happens if so when people sit here and keep relating Dan Campbell to like us, to like AP, what happens if AP gets into that same spot and does the same exact fucking thing because of his inexperience at a head coach? Like those are things we're gonna have to most definitely keep in mind if we get to those spots, regardless. Yeah.
Salute, guys. By the way, hey Benther, nice to see you,
man.
Bro.
What up, Bills?
I think what happened last night, Dan Campbell thought he was playing Madden against Benther, dude. I think that's what happened. Fucking going for it on fourth down, left and right. I called the same shit, dude. I texted my homie after he went for it like the third or fourth time. Like, this shit's a wrap, dude. This shit's a fucking wrap. You need to get the score back to where it was, get some points on the board, and try to play the field position game. And I think his ego got in the way.
Guy pretty much had no faith in his defense by going for it on fourth down.
Exactly, dude. And I mean, at some point, you got to cut your losses and stop the bleeding, right? At that point, I think it was late in the third. You were still at 24 points. You were still at 24 points. Like, you hadn't scored in like most of the second half. At that point, you got to get your team back on the scoreboard, put 3 up on that bitch, get to 27. And let's play the field position game. But that dude's ego just got in the way, and all of a sudden, we're, us as Raider fans, we're sitting at home watching the worst possible Super Bowl combination that we could have.
Yep.
But that's literally the worst possible combination, right? The Chiefs are in our house. They're technically the home team because the AFC is the home team this year.
And they're renting our training facility.
So this is guys. This is the equivalent of having your worst enemy in your house, sleeping in your bed, taking a shit in your bathroom, showering with your shampoo in your house, dude.
Hey, if we ever wanted to get a motherfucker right now, it'd be the best time. I'd sneak up in that bitch and come on, motherfucker.
Watching your TV, drinking your beer, having your
Nah, they ain't drinking my shit. I would put a lock on that motherfucker and fucking straight tell him like, hey, you can use the soda machine over there.
Smoking your shit, like doing
hell no. It got some $5. We're in Vegas. Yeah, we're in Vegas. It's $5. Yeah, it's $5.
Nah, but you guys know
it'll be a fucking 8-ounce soda can. Not even a fucking,
Yeah, when I
not a 12.
when I
This is
saw
the
that
wor-
shit,
this is
because
the
I was
worst
behind, like
combo.
a day behind everybody, like watching the games, I was like, I just did like the comic book guy voice, and I was like, worst Super Bowl ever. Like comic
Hell
book guy
yeah.
voice from fucking
He's
Simpsons.
not lying. It
Like, I'm like,
is.
holy fuck! I can't root for nobody. Like, at least if the Lions won, I could go for the Lions, or if the fucking Ravens won, I could go for the Ravens for the
So
other
check
dickheads. Like,
this out, guys. So Ozzy, check this out. Guys. If the Chiefs win, they'll get to their 4th Super Bowl, which trumps us. So they'll be
in our fucking
the
house.
top team.
Yeah.
So check this out, just a second, Ozzy. So they'll be the top team in the AFC West with the most Super Bowls. If the Niners win, they're tying the Steelers and the Patriots for the most Super Bowls in the NFL. It's the worst possible outcome.
Fuck. So either way, it's fucking sucks.
As long as the Niners don't win, bro, I don't give a fuck.
Shit, dude. I don't know what to pick. It's like the worst poison, dude. I'm up here in the
Yeah, that's
Bay.
what I was
Everyone's
saying.
wearing red.
I mean, it might be an easy decision. It might be an easy decision for some of y'all to say that you guys want the Niners to win. It's easy for me to say I want the motherfucking Chiefs to win. Fuck the Chiefs. I mean, yeah, fuck the Niners, bro. Anybody but the Niners. Because I'm gonna have to hear these fans,
man,
bro,
that's
for
tough
years.
because I won't lie, both of them.
If I had to deal with Chiefs fans on a daily basis,
them.
bro, I would want the Niners to win, bro. I gotta deal with Niner fans every single day, bro. I work with Niner fans.
Yeah, I ain't even lying. Some of my best
I'm
friends
with
are
Benther on
Niner
that one,
fans
shit.
too,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
I get that.
I'm sorry.
point.
I'm with
But
Benther on that
in
one,
that-
dude.
Hey, I might know
that
like
area,
one.
you
Hey, I
guys
know
understand
like Hefe. I know Hefe that I was by as a fucking Chiefs fan, but that's
Yeah,
about as
sorry,
far as
guys.
that shit goes. Like I don't know much fucking.
My little
Chiefs.
brother's a Chiefs fan.
Oh,
Yeah, I
How?
don't fucking.
that's heresy.
How?
I guess.
I
that
mean,
point.
and the whole thing about the Chiefs are going to trump our division. Like, to be real, like the Chiefs are going to trump our division with Super Bowls, regardless if they win this year or not, because they're going to win
Yeah,
another
they've
one
been
under
doing
Patrick
it.
Mahomes. You know what I'm
They've
saying?
been fucking
So
doing
it's
it.
gonna happen. You know, will it
Yeah.
suck if it's on our field? But you know what will suck worse? If Niner fans get to say we beat you guys on your stadium while we shit in your bathroom and fucking and ate your food and drank your beer. I'm gonna have to hear that every single day. If the Chiefs win, I'm never gonna have to hear that, bro. At least personally, I'm never gonna have to hear that.
Yo, Benther,
Yeah,
you know
that's
what's a
amazing.
trip? You know what's a trip, guys? Fucking Cleveland Farrell might win a Super Bowl before Max Crosby.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, but I agree. Like it's worst case scenario.
Hold on,
because
did
do I
you
want the
say
Chiefs to
Cleveland
win?
Farrell,
Fuck no.
Mike?
But dude, I would
he's with
rather
the Niners.
any
Yeah,
he's with the Niners.
bro.
Isn't there a way that both teams
Cleveland
can draw?
Farrell,
Like, can we have the
Cleveland
first
Farrell
draw
might
Super
win
Bowl
the
history
Super
that
Bowl
no
before
fucking
Max
wins?
Crosby.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Just to even think that is crazy fucking Cleve lucky bitch. It's always when people leave, go somewhere else, end up there. Fucking crazy.
And the
Because
funny
we
thing
don't
is, he
develop
actually played
talent,
really
man.
well.
Well, actually,
Wild,
I
dude.
won't say that with Clee. Clee was just more of a benefit of being a rotational player on a great defensive line, man.
Yeah,
You know what I
fact.
mean? They have a great defensive line over there, so he would have been great for us for that, but he didn't want to sign with us for that. He's like, fuck it, if I'm just gonna be a rotational guy and not a starter, I'm gonna go to a team that's a fucking contender. I ain't got no shot here. Not being a rotational guy.
That is facts. Frickin' Dalda over here thinks like, what do you guys think? Should the Raiders trade for fucking Justin Fields? But I think, in my opinion, I think he's trash, man. I don't want him.
No,
Gonna
bro.
pay me to get him. I'd rather draft a quarterback in the draft and not cost me 2-3 draft picks for this guy. So
I take Baker over him.
yeah, facts.
Yeah,
I would
Baker's
way
one
if we're gonna go for another option, especially like Kirk Cousins or that, I'd most definitely go for Baker for 100%, dude. So I just want to let you know, Dawes, so you don't. I just don't want to intertwine in something we're not talking about. But no, either way, we can get back to it. But I just, you guys can answer on it if you want. But for me, I just feel like I don't feel like that guy fits here at all, dude. Like if Harbaugh is here and they take a chance, like great. But I've said it already. Like the offense has got to be the most crucial thing in here. The defense has like 20 different guys over there that can protect them from Marvin Lewis all the way down. You know, it's not like Lunatic said that Marvin Lewis is here to help AP, but you know, and I agree, he is here. But the things I have to think about is like how much access does he have to him? You have to remember he was over there with Herm Edwards, dude. It's not like they were just winning every game in college football. So it's not like they're still like they're just like at the top of the top. I mean, this guy, there's a lot of things that have to go into consideration, and even with these guys' names and who they are, it might be a year, it could be 2 years. Like, there's a lot of things I feel for me. as in the coaches and where they've been and where they're at and where they're coming. So I just feel like just hopping the gun and all that. I think the offense is the most crucial part. That's why I feel like it has to be somebody that knows what they're doing, because there's nobody over the top of them if they start fucking up. And the way that we know that is because when both fucked up, there was nobody above him to help him. So it is what it is. You just need a guy that knows it. That's why I've said it's got to be Cliff, or I mean, like I said, I mean, I would even go with Clint, but I mean, I would go with Eric. I'd go with Eric, man. Like, I think Eric would be my guy if it was who it is.
Yo, Dustin, you know my guy. No one's talking about him.
Well, you know, actually, so, you know, to be honest with you, somebody was talking about him actually on, you know who was talking about him? I remember exactly who it was. It was fucking Rex Ryan, dude. He was backing the fuck out of people on that TV show today, dude, or the deal I seen about how he said
about it. What was he saying
he
about
said people. He said that people were blaming Greg with the Baltimore run game, this, that, and everything, and that it was his fault, blah blah blah. And he was bagging the shit out of what's that guy? It was a new OC that's over there,
Todd
frickin'.
Monken.
Yeah, yeah,
Todd Monken.
Yep, Todd Monken. People are praising the shit out of this guy. And then Rex was bagging him. You can look it up. Look up Rex Ryan bags on that fool.
Dude, they didn't run the ball yesterday.
He said straight trash. He said, you. That felt like he just reminded me when he said that. He said, you act like goddamn if you got Tom Brady back there. He said 82% of the time this fucking guy dropped back trying to throw the ball like Tom Brady and shit. He was like, you ain't got Tom Brady, man. You can't do that shit. Like he told him, man. He said he is an idiot, dude. Like he bagged the shit out of that guy. He said that the whole Ravens organization owes him an apology. Fucking. But you are right. Your guy, dude, would bring that stability, like Ben was kind of saying too, which you've been bringing up the whole time, is that run game where AP and them do want to install that, want to go that route, want to bring that mentality. Roman would most definitely bring that with him, 100%. The only problem I see with this is he would probably go to the Chargers, like 100%. He's a hardball guy, 1,000%, dude. So I don't know if he would come to us before he would go to the Chargers. I don't know what route he's trying to go, you know, like Jim. But I literally called that whole entire staff, dude, but I said that staff would be here. I said that exact staff that was over there. I said Jesse Minter, fucking Jay Harbaugh. I called that whole deal. I said they would be on this motherfucker long before they were present over there, dude. And I believe that if Roman if he is too, I think he'll end up over there too. He had success with them when they were there with the Niners. I mean, I believe he's more linked with him than us. So, and don't get me wrong, anything can change, anything can be different. But if I'm just a betting man, I would probably bet that if it was me.
Yeah, I like that dude from the Ravens, Greg Roman. I just think he's pretty much only played with fucking mobile quarterbacks though.
Yeah.
Or coached up with mobile quarterbacks. But yeah, man. I don't know, dude. I feel like whoever the offensive coordinator is, like I said, I think Hugh would be dope. Hugh would be like a classic choice for the Raiders. But yeah, my bad. I'm kind of cut everybody off. Sorry.
Nope, everybody's talking on it, man. Anybody else have anything they want to add to this topic?
Nothing I can think of.
Nah.
We're still in the OC thing, right?
Yeah, the OC, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna head out in like a minute, so I just want to give my final thoughts here.
All right.
You know, it's gonna be basically the same thing I said earlier. You know, personally, I think whatever happens. You know, obviously, I see benefits to both hiring Clint Kubiak because he's got so much talent around him in San Francisco, and he's got the amount of weapons he's had. He's been able to modify, I guess, his game plan every week to focus on using those weapons in certain situations. You know, CMC, the obvious, you know, go-to back. You know, now Brandon Ayuk is the number one receiver over there instead of Deebo Samuel. You know, George Kittle staying healthy. He's become a threat again. And then, you know, like I said before, Cliff Kingsbury, you know, we saw what he did with Arizona. We saw how he developed Mahomes, how he developed Kyler Murray. You know, when he is on as an offensive coordinator, he is on. You know, it's just one of those things where you got to keep him away from the defense or defensive decisions. But if you keep him as the OC, Kingsbury, I think we'll be set for success either way. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me.
All right, heck yeah. No, I agree, man. I agree. I mean, like I said, I think there's a lot of good candidates that are still left out of here that can still offer good tangibles to our team, regardless if it's somebody like Cliff, if it's somebody like frickin' Benamy, or somebody like Kubiak. I mean, I think, like you said, it's just we're gonna have to sit back, wait, and see who it's gonna be. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we have multiple people that are out there. I just don't see who we'd get on the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs been struggling all fucking year. I would take Benamy before I would take anybody on that Chiefs OC roster, if I was just being honest.
Yeah, you don't want to hire Matt Nagy, man.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're more looking at the Niners OC, not the Chiefs OC. Salute Raider Tim, appreciate you, bro. But I mean, and again, salute to everybody over here in the Instagram, man. Really do appreciate you guys. So outside of that, like I was saying, no, I agree. I think there's a lot of people out there that it could be. I think obviously it's got to be somebody up there, because why wouldn't they made the hire already? You know what I mean? Like, if it's somebody out here right now, why wouldn't they make the hire right now? I mean, there's nothing stopping them. So
Well,
that's why.
That's my thinking. They must be looking at Kubiak. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm pretty sure it's Kubiak, because Kubiak, for instance, if he would be here for 2-3 years right away. He'd be here 2-3 years, has a success with offenses everywhere he's gone. The guy I think it's him. I think it's him for sure. It's the West Coast dude.
I think so too.
I think it's him for
West
sure.
Coast system,
so yeah, I think it'd be him for sure.
Yeah, because like I said on other shows, I like Cliff Kingsbury because of his experience. But like I told you before, like both on the show and off the show, that I prefer West Coast for the Raiders. Like, I just feel like it's a better fit for the Raiders organization as West Coast system. Like, we've had a much success in that, so I can definitely see Kubiak being definitely a serious candidate for OC. Especially if, like you're saying earlier, and like Ben was saying, is that that ground and pound game. I think Kubiak's definitely going to bring that.
I think that
just because of how the West Coast system plays so well through the run. I mean, that's why Gruden brought in a guy like Josh Jacobs and stuff. Drafted him and that. So yeah, I definitely can see Kubiak fitting in nicely into here with what we're building. So especially with a strong defense to back up the offense. So if we can create a strong running game with a strong defense, then we can get away with an average passing game, at least until we find our quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. Nope, I agree. Al, you have anything, or what were you going to say, Noah?
No, I'm going to head out, but it's been fun for tonight, guys.
Heck yeah, man. I hope you have a great night, man. I hope school's going good, man, and I'll talk to you on the next one.
Yep, see you next time, bro.
Heck yeah, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate it, Seth. I see your message, so appreciate it, man. Al, I know you got hopped in, got cut off, man. I know you're trying to talk, so if you want to most definitely throw back out there, most definitely you can have the floor before we swap off this topic.
Yeah, dude, no, appreciate it. No, I think I'm just going back to my original point, dude. Like, I'm bummed out in terms of the Super Bowl, how it panned out, but we are where we are, I mean, I think this should light a fire underneath our players' asses, right? To not be in this position ever again. As I mentioned, this is the worst possible combination in terms of Super Bowl teams that we could be watching in our stadium. As I mentioned to you guys, the Chiefs are technically the home team. They're in our home. They're sleeping in your bed, drinking your beer, reclining in your sofa, watching your TV, taking a shit in your bathroom, showering in your shower. Like, it's the worst possible combination, right? So we are where we are. The only way that you get this get back at some point in the future is if you win a Super Bowl, either you win a Super Bowl at Levi's or you win a Super Bowl at Arrowhead at some point. That's the only way you get a get back here.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever have a Super Bowl at Arrowhead, though.
At this point, in terms of our team, how we could get better, we all know AP's a first-time head coach. He's a rookie head coach. So I think his success is largely going to depend on how is he building out the coaching staff, who's going to be helping him out, who's going to be doing the X's and O's. AP is not necessarily an X's and O's guy. And the most critical part, right, the most critical piece is that OC. I think if AP is able to identify an OC that could inspire these guys, could, be a motivator, get the most out of each player that we have on offense, I think that's going to dictate a lot as to whether or not we have a successful season or not. And if you guys remember last week when AP's having his introductory press conference as a full-time head coach, they asked him, what are you looking for in the OC? And he jokingly said, 24 points. If we would have averaged 24 points throughout the year last year, we would have had 4 additional wins.
Mm-hmm.
We would have been 12-5. Just trip out on that. We would have been 12-5. Or did we have 9 or 8 wins? We had 8 or 9? Help me out here.
Last year, we were 8.
Last year. We had 8, right?
We didn't have a winning season. We had a losing season.
Yeah.
So we'd have 13.
9.
We would have been.
Year before that was 6-11.
Yeah, so we would have been 12-5.
I said we were first place losers, man. That's the thing about having an 8-9 record with having 16 games versus 17 games. There's a clear distinctive who's the first loser and who the hell is the last winning. You know what I mean by 9 wins and 8 wins.
Yeah, dude. So that offense, we need to fix it. Who would have thought that the strength of our team is actually the defense, right? But here we are. The defense is actually the strength of this team. So it is what it is, man.
Let's just be real. If we're gonna be honest, man, I don't fucking know if you can live this one down. You have the 2 biggest, worst fucking motherfucking teams in all of football.
I don't think you can either.
Go up in our house. I don't know.
I've been feeling that way ever since I did not watch the. Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, I didn't watch the Chiefs Ravens game and that until yesterday, last night, because I've been working and shit, so I had to watch the replay later on. And then when I realized that it was going to be fucking Chiefs and Niners, I'm like, fucking hell. Now I can't, I even went to talk to someone else on DMs, Angelo, saying now it's I can't go for anyone, because at least if the Lions won, I could go for the Lions. If the fucking Ravens won, I could go for the Ravens against the other team. But now it's I can't go for anybody because I hate both teams. So
I don't want to watch it, but I hate it. But
it's the worst fucking Super Bowl imaginable. So
I mean, are you guys even watching it? That's
I don't think I'm gonna even watch it, man. To be honest, I don't know.
I'm gonna watch it because I want to see if Brock Purdy beats fucking Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can probably watch now. Is like Dustin just said, is I would love it if fucking Brock Purdy beat Mahomes. That's the only thing now that I can get out of this.
Same here, Brody.
Hey, Rudy, are you watching?
Let's just be real. I just know.
I watched both the games. I didn't watch all of the NFC.
Are you going to watch the Super Bowl, though? Are you going to watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl.
I know you're a no.
But if I had to say it, I don't want the Chiefs to win more than anything because
Ray will be there supporting them for sure.
The undisputed Kings is what they would be, undisputed, because they'd have 4 wins. Yeah. We have 3, tied with the Donkeys with 3 wins.
Yeah, I hate the Niners too, but for me,
but I hate the Chiefs more than I hate the Niners. Yeah, though.
Exactly, because they're division rivals. To me, our biggest rival is the Chiefs out of anybody. So.
And like I said, they're the home team, dude. They're sleeping in our house, drinking our beer, watching our TV.
Yeah, I understand how Ben feels. I get that because he's from California. I get that point. But I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. I fucking can't stand Kansas City, and I'll be fucking damned if they come to our home, sit in my house, think they're gonna win a Super Bowl up and nah. Fuck that, dude. I'll be I'll tell the Niners, kick the fuck out of them dudes, man.
Yeah.
Yo, Dustin.
If it was me, I'd fucking go and get the fucking Gatorade guy to go and put a laugh at these.
So you know what I was thinking about earlier today, guys? You know what I was thinking about? What do you think Al would do if he was alive, dude? Do you think he would allow the fucking Chiefs in his house?
He'll probably cancel this Super Bowl here.
Probably cancel that shit, yeah.
He'll probably be like, fuck that.
Yep.
I don't know if he'd go on with the Super Bowl, to be honest. I don't know how he'd feel about that.
Yeah, I think he'd cancel that shit too, yeah. I think he'd
that
cancel
shit somewhere else.
He'd probably cancel that shit.
I mean,
He'd be
he did
"Fuck that,
like
man, I'm not Super Bowl."
he did like Bill, so I'm not gonna say. I don't know how he'd feel about that.
I don't think he ever wanted.
I mean, at some point, you would have to think. So look, at some point, if Al would have signed up for a Super Bowl, you have to know at some point that it's going to be something like this. And I don't know if you can turn it down or not, but I know he wouldn't agree with it. Like, I know he'd be just like everybody else. Like,
Fact.
fuck that.
But if it was me, I'd seriously consider paying somebody to put fucking laxatives in their fucking Gatorade.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, it's a tough fucking Super Bowl here. I mean, I'll just be dead ass honest. It's a tough one.
In our house, drinking our beer, guys. Damn.
Like I said, the only way to get paid out for that shit is just put laxatives in the drinks and watch them all run to the toilet every 5 minutes.
The only way they're fucking drinking my beer is if they pay me them fucking bucks of beer. Fucking little 8-ouncer. Fucking, they'd be like, yeah, I want a beer. I'd be like, oh, here's a fucking mouthwash, fucking little cup like this. You know, like when they go to the dentist's office, give you a little fucking glass or little paper cup.
Yeah, the little.
Then I'd be like, that'd be $10. $10. Fucking.
Yeah, the thing is, for me, it's like
shit.
the fact that I just don't want the
Mhm.
Chiefs to win a fucking Super Bowl in our house, man. They cannot be the first ones to win a Super Bowl in our house, like a division rival winning a Super Bowl in your house before you do. Nah, fuck that.
And not just that, dude. It's our new house, dude. It's the
Exactly,
remodeled
that's what I
home.
mean. Like,
It's the remodeled home, dude.
oh man, this sucks. Like I said, the minute that I found out who the things were going in the Super Bowl, it's like a comic book guy going, worst Super Bowl ever. Like a comic book guy from fucking Simpsons.
No, I agree. I mean, I've just said I'm a fan of the sport, so I'm gonna watch the game. But I've said I just
You made a
probably
good
like
point.
the
I mean,
two worst
only
teams for
enjoyment I
Raider
can get out of
fans.
it is it fucking
I think it's the
Brock
two
Purdy
worst
beats
teams
Mahomes.
for Raider fans by a mile. Like, I don't even think it's even fucking close.
It's
I
not
think
even
it's by a
close,
mile.
dude. It's not close. Yeah, it's not close.
Mhm. I mean,
It's the
every
worst
person
fucking
that's
combo.
from Oakland can't stand the Niners. Not at all. And every Raider fan can't stand Kansas City. Like, straight fucking fact. So, it's probably the two worst. And then, it wouldn't even matter as much if they weren't in our fucking house. Like, that's where it matters even more. So, that'd be
They're in our home, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
They
sitting
better
on
light a
my
fire
couch
under our
watching my
players' asses.
TV.
That's all I can say. Like you guys were saying earlier, it's like it better light a fire under their asses. Because that was my first fucking thing when I saw the lineup. Is that this better light the fucking fire on the Raider players' asses?
Yo,
man.
but Ozzy, this is the thing though. The only way you get a get back on this is if you win in either Levi's or Arrowhead.
It's more likely to have a fucking Levi before they have an Arrowhead Super Bowl, I would think.
That's the only
But-
equivalent. And then you have to actually be in their home, training in their facilities, be the home team there. Like, that's the only way you get
There's
a
like
get back.
there's only one other way around it. Like other than that, and that's if they can if the team can get to a point offensively and keep the defense going how it is, where we can smack the fuck out of the Chiefs twice a year, every fucking year, and then fucking smack the fucking Niners whenever we play them. And
I
that's
was
the only
watching-
other thing. That's the only other thing
Like,
that can come close.
Like I was watching this other Raider content creator today, and he actually brought up a good point. So the Chiefs are, as you know, the de facto home team for this Super Bowl. So that means they get the home locker room. What's going to stop them from like stomping on our logo, dude?
No, fucking go in there and punch him right in their fucking face. That's what's going to stop him. That's what's going to stop him. What's going to stop him is go in there and break their fucking teeth in. You know, they might go out there and get the rest of cheap for them. Who's going to save them over beating their ass in the fucking tunnel? Like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I don't think we ain't got cameras up in that bitch. Fuck, dude, you seen what happened when we stomped their fucking shit at their place, dude? They fucking gave an ass beating to us on the field. We'll straight beat their fucking ass, literally, like, for blood.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, half our players ain't even playing right now. That ain't happening.
Yeah, not just that. I remember when I think it was like a journalist or someone stepped on the logo, and I think I was watching on YouTube, and then they were wanting to get off the logo.
And you're right. You're right, but I think Andy Reid has way more respect for the game of football than let his fucking hooligan-ass fucking team do some dumbass shit like that. I can't see Andy Reid doing that.
Dude, this is where I like disagree, dude. He fucking did that ring around the rosy bullshit.
That's nothing. That's not stepping on someone's fucking logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just that, they did that as payback to us because of the dumb shit that Yannick did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Andy Reid would. Making fun of your team because they suck dick, that's one thing. Him bagging on your fucking logo inside your building, I could not see him doing that, man. Yeah, I just couldn't see it. I could not see it happen.
No,
out of it, who do you guys want to see? I mean, if you had to pick a team, who would you want to see win?
For me, as much as I hate to say it, I feel like throwing up in my mouth, I'll probably have to say the Niners. Just because I hate the Chiefs more. Like, I fucking hate Patrick Mahomes, and I fucking hate the Chiefs, like, with a passion, so. I hate both teams, but I really hate the fucking, the Chiefs, more. So it's, for me, it's taking the lesser of two evils.
Dude. For me, dude,
I guess if you're from the Bay Area, though, I can understand people being more about the Niners. If you're from the Bay Area, I can understand it. Yeah. So that's why I could completely understand where Ben was coming from, because Ben's from around there. Like, he has a lot of Niner fans around. So, yeah, so I get it. I can get that it can go either way. I just hate the fucking Chiefs. So I really hate Mahomes, and I really hate Kelsey, and I fucking hate the Chiefs with a passion.
Yeah.
Fucking Taylor Swift, dude.
Well, I fucking hate Taylor Swift now, too, because of Kelsey.
That is fucking fact.
I know Rudy used to listen to Taylor, but not anymore.
Nah, that was my nieces did. And, my oldest niece did listen to Taylor Swift, but she's not into football, but her daddy is a Chiefs fan.
Oh, shit. Come on, Rudy.
Fucking dad, too, though. No. I just hate the Chiefs. Because like every year, it's like, to me,
uncles were all Raider fans. So.
Like, that's Chiefs is our number one rival. Like, that's the team that I look for us to fucking want to beat every year more than any other team. So,
you know what's crazy too, guys? Like, it's not even like the Chiefs are like this dominant team this year. They just fucking scraped by.
Yeah, that's what sucks about it. I was hoping they would have got knocked out by fucking the Ravens, man. Like, I'm like, come on. I thought the Ravens were going to win it at first, the way that they were fucking, like, doing some of their plays. Lamar looked better at first passing, but then he went back to old Lamar again, throwing fucking shitty fucking into coverage or whatever. Fucking dumbass. Because at least with the Ravens, I could have, like, at least it's not in our division. Like, I've never hated on the Ravens the way I hate on the Chiefs or the Niners.
Dude, all we needed yesterday was one of the teams to pull out, dude.
It's like they couldn't
Ravens
give us
or Lions.
Or the Ravens. Like, fuck. At least then I'd
just
have
a little hope, you know?
It's just like when Jared Goff was with the Rams. At least I could go with the Rams because I hated the Patriots. Like, fuck.
There's no hope in this one, dude. It's a lose-lose.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lose-lose situation. You can only take the less. It's one of those situations where you can only pick the lesser of two evils.
Hey, Dustin, who do you hate more, dude? Who do you hate more?
I mean,
So,
like I
yeah.
said, I mean, for me, I hate fucking both of them pretty well equally. I mean, it's a pretty tough deal for me because, I mean, they're garbage, man. They're garbage. So.
But if
I
you
just
had
hate
to
the chase for
pick,
the
dude,
division
if you
rivals.
had
I
to
hate
pick,
that tad bit more.
Like if I had to pick one to win and one not to, I mean, I would probably just base it off the Niners because I would rather watch Brock Purdy just beat fucking.
Yeah.
I'd rather just watch Brock Purdy beat fucking.
That's what I was saying. That's the only like little
Patrick
fucking,
Mahomes. I mean,
yeah.
if Brock Purdy beats Patrick Mahomes, dude, I mean, I'd probably be more satisfied about that than anything. I mean, and that's just because what is he, a fucking year 2 guy just beat the fucking Chiefs in the Super Bowl to go out there and all this Tom Brady bullshit, talk, comparison, all that. Then you got this little pretty boy over here that's like gonna be no more perfect than anything in life. So I don't know, man. I think
Yeah, like when you brought that point up about Brock Purdy beating Mahomes, I'm like, yeah, that's the only little twinkle of light in this whole fucked up situation. There's something that I can actually look forward to in this fucking Super Bowl is if Brock Purdy beats Mahomes. And just looking at the expression of Mahomes' face when he gets beaten by Brock Purdy. That's about it now. That's the only thing that decides to be interesting for me to watch this game about.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would matter more to me. If I'm just being honest.
Yeah, facts. I agree with that.
Are there more Niner fans out there in Oregon, dude, or Kansas City fans?
Probably Oregon or Niner fans.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was just gonna say. I see more Niner fans here than anything. I don't know, man. I'd probably walk up and slap a dude if I see him in a Chiefs outfit here, you know. I don't know about. I have a fucking. I don't know, man. I don't like.
Like I said, can't we just put fucking laxatives or some shit in all their drinks so they can cancel the Super Bowl and move it somewhere else? Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know how that one's gonna go out. Let's move on. This topic's dead. It's dead like both them fucking teams.
We can do the O-line one if you want, because I'll jump off in about half an hour.
What do you have? All right, let me
The
go.
offensive line, the fuck no to Jonah Williams, and then the other one.
Oh, there you go, right there.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so the reason I was bringing up offensive line is because a lot of people have been saying, you know, that we need to improve the offensive line and spend money in free agency on offensive line and this and that. And like, I've literally been going through like every fucking name in Spot Track, like, you know, looking up the name, what's their contract gonna look like, then looking up their numbers, like, you know, how many pressures did they give up, how many sacks did they give up, et cetera, et cetera. And to be honest, so far from what I've seen, as far as free agent right tackles go, there isn't anyone better than Jermaine Eluemunor right now. Like, people are bringing up names like Jonah Williams, right? And just to speak on Jonah Williams for a second, like, he's looking at like $10 million for one season. I mean, he had 1,087 snaps, 5 penalties, 8 sacks given up, 10 quarterback hits, 41 pressures, and 23. And then he had 1,100 snaps, 4 penalties, 12 sacks given up, 6 quarterback hits, 43 pressures in 2022. I was like, how the fuck do you want to move on from Eluemunor for that motherfucker when that motherfucker's worse? And it costs more. Like, Eluemunor only gave up fucking 6 sacks this season, and I could probably credit at least 2 or 3 of those to the fact that our quarterback situation was fucked and they held onto the ball too long. So if you say, for argument's sake, you say 4 sacks instead of 6, Eluemunor had a much better season than a guy like Jonah Williams did at right tackle. So to me, there's no really right tackles in free agency that I would actually want to pay money to over what we already got on the team. And then when you talk about the right guard position, I mean, and the center position, that's probably the only 2 positions that I'd probably look at where you could actually pay a bit of money and improve the offensive line. Like, my number 1 guy I would love to get, if we can get him, is Robert Hunt from Miami to play right guard. But we have to pay him a bit of money to do it. I mean, he's probably looking at like $10 million a year for a right guard, because that dude's probably like one of the better right guards in the whole NFL right now. That dude only gave up like once. He only played 547 snaps, but he only gave up 1 sack and 5 pressures in 547 snaps. And then if you go back to where is it? Here it is, 2022. He only gave up 2 sacks and 31 pressures in 2022. So it's like we can definitely improve right guard there. And then the only other position I'll improve if we did move on from Andre James is where is it? Is that guy from Denver, the center from Denver, even though he's an ex-Donkey, is Lloyd Cushenberry. Lloyd Cushenberry is probably the only center to take over Andre James. That's going to be in the free agent market. Otherwise, we might as well just roll with what we got already, because the line already has continuity, and then just fucking draft guys. Like, I'm more in favor of drafting a right guy than drafting a fucking right tackle the same month before season.
Yeah, very well fun.
Yeah, because the only other guy I can see us, like, if we were to draft, like, if we get to Leicester now, I can see us moving in the direction of drafting a right tackle in the first round, like, because Tedesco drafted a guy that's like Sean Slater. So if say we don't move up for a quarterback and we decide to stay at 13 because the cost of moving up to get a quarterback is like too expensive, and let's just say no quarterback really falls to 13 that's worth it, then I could see them picking up a guy like Talisi Fungo, or whatever his name is, out of Oregon State, who's the top right tackle in the whole draft. Like I could see us going that route at right tackle. But I just don't see any right tackles in free agency that's worth us paying money to. That's really an upgrade over what we've got already.
But the people that are on the roster right now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, if I go through Spot Track, I've gone through pretty much every player on there, and I just don't see any right tackles, like specifically right tackles or guys that can play both. That's really an upgrade. But I consider an actual upgrade over Luminor.
Mm-hmm.
The only upgrades I see is like right guy and center, possibly. If you get a guy like Robert Hunt or a guy like Lloyd Cushenberry at center, like, that's
and they can always trade for a guy too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless we trade for someone, that's a possibility. But there could be a tradable candidate. But as far as like free agency goes, I just don't see any free agent pickups worth the while paying them to replace Illuminor. Like, I just don't see it. So they might end up resigning.
Well, and I've always said when you get to post-June first cuts, it'll change out a lot of people in there.
Yeah, I agree.
You'll go through the draft. It's going to change people there too. We're going to have multiple sections where veteran offensive tackles, people like that, are going to get cut. So they're most definitely going to have room to be able to mess around with, you know.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying, as things stand right now, there's not much on the free agent market at the moment. So I guess we'll have to wait till after the Super Bowl, and if you settle the cuts, and that will happen when people will have to get to the cap space and that. But like, yeah, I just, because to me, I don't want to spend all this money, and it's not that much of an upgrade. You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth spending that money. I'd rather invest that money in defense or invest that money elsewhere.
No, I agree. Al, you have anything you want to add to it or what?
No, dude, I'm good. I just think probably a general comment, man. Like, we're entering like a really critical juncture of our franchise here. Like, it's been 22 years since we won a playoff game. You have Harbaugh with the Chargers. You have Andy Reid with the Chiefs on the precipice of a third Super Bowl. I think Sean Payne's going to turn that shit around over in Denver, which he already has to a certain extent. Like, this shit's a scary division. It's a spooky division. So we better fucking grab a hold of you-know-what, dude, and, like, really fucking focus and make sure we have a great offseason, because the other thing that we just got to be realistic about, some of our star players, and I'm thinking of Max Crosby here, he's probably got 2 or 3 prime years left. If that, you know, like, fucking careers go by quick. You know, NFL stands for not for long. And
so you're kind of hitting out there.
It's just going to be, you know, it would be a shame if, like, a player of that caliber, you know, retires or goes to another team without winning a chip out here with the Raiders. So I hope things change, dude. I hope things change.
You know, it's crazy. I was just looking at this post. It says the 2012-2013 Redskins coaching staff: Raheem Morris, defensive back coach; Kyle Shanahan, offensive coordinator; Matt LaFleur, quarterback coach; Sean McVay, tight end coach; Mike McDaniel, wide receiver coach. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it's got to be the craziest. All 5 of those fools were all on the same team at one time. That's insane, man.
That is pretty crazy.
I mean, let's be real, dude. Them top 4 are all pretty badass coaches. No doubt about it.
Yeah, facts.
Says playoff predictions, championship rounds: Max 9-3, Darren 8-4, Boogan 7-5. What is this? The Rush? Oh, so Max leading the way. Darren is fucking 1 behind. Good luck. They can have a tie. Who will win the Super Bowl MVP? Fucking Brandon Ayuk, Chris Jones, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Isaiah Pacheco, Deebo Samuel, Rashid Rice, Patrick Mahomes, Nick Bosa, or other. Who do you guys think may get that?
Get the what? The
MVP. Super Bowl MVP.
It typically goes to the winning team, right? So, I mean,
and quarterback, but unless you're just as good a halfback or wide receiver.
So I think fuck, this is gonna be like kind of crazy, but I think Kelce wins it, dude.
Travis Kelce.
I think he wins that shit, dude. I think he wins the MVP because I don't know if you've been seeing that dude play, but he's just playing like a man possessed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dude had like 12, 13 catches yesterday.
He is.
Dude's a fucking
It says Patrick Mahomes' 10-year contract, $450 million. Brock Purdy's rookie contract, $3.7 million.
Fuck.
Fucking ridiculous, dude. I swear. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I've said it, dude. I said it long before Harbaugh got over there that if he got there, dude, this would be the hardest division in all football, dude. I said it's going to be, this is rock star status shit here now. You know what I mean? It ain't no, oh, come over here, let's play T-ball. You're fucking playing big boy fucking football, dude, like hardcore. So, Rudy, you got one of yours. Could trade. You want to do your trade? Why trade for Bo or trade down Bo Nix or Super Bowl prediction?
I'll go with the trade down for the Raiders. Could trade down for Bo Nix and get more.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I do think this, and I thought of this because I saw someone on Instagram, but they didn't go with Bo Nix. They went with that other quarterback, where they traded down, and it doesn't have to go in the second round. It could be in the late first round, because in the late first round, nobody's going to really take quarterbacks, and Bo Nix will still be available. If you want to play it safe, you could be in the mid first round, or you could be in the late first round and get Bo Nix and get more draft value. I mean, there's Raiders could get like an extra third round pick or extra, it just depends on what team, because there might be a team that might want to go up to get a certain player, and it wouldn't be a quarterback. It would be probably a wide receiver or a corner or a D lineman or something, or, they want to trade up with us or we want to trade down so we get more trade value, but we could get a quarterback that's
Sorry, guys, I had a phone call.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, and that we could get a quarterback who's mid-range, like a late first round pick, or at the worst a second round pick. I mean, I've seen quarterbacks. I understand there are teams that really need quarterbacks and a lot of the good ones are going to get taken. I think that Bo Nix, taking him in the 13th pick might be a little way too safe. I think you can go even in the 15s or 20s. But, 15s would be still a little safe, but, we're at the 13th pick and, or we could do is trade our second round pick up to a late first round pick and get Bo Nix.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That'd be more worthwhile because, I mean, a route that I've been thinking more and more about as a free agency, depending who else comes available after Super Bowl, is what if they draft a right tackle at 13 and then, like you said, trade back from their second pick back in the first and get a quarterback that way?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, like that. But I think with tackle, I know there are free agents in tackle. To be honest with you, I don't trust the Luminar as a right tackle.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Depends on who our offensive coordinator is, though.
There's no real right tackles out there. That's my point.
Yeah.
Like, unless
there are some.
After the Super Bowl.
There are some right tackles.
Like, because I've gone through pretty much everyone's name on the whole spot track list, and none of them to me is really an improvement over Luminar. Like, none of them.
Yeah, they might be a little.
Like, not Jonah Williams, not like. Hang on, I'll just pull up the list that I have.
It's Trent Brown, but I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah, he's not coming back, so that's why I didn't take him off. He's not going to come back yet.
And he's had a weight problem.
Yeah, and then because a lot of the guys on the free agent market is left tackles, and just because they might be a good left tackle doesn't mean that they can play right.
Well, yeah, exactly. We did that problem with Robert Gallery, who was
not just that. I mean, a good example for us would also be what do you call it, Donald Penn. When Donald Penn was switched to right tackle, he great left tackle, but absolutely sucked at right tackle.
Yeah, he got injured. He didn't even last long. We did that before where I think what it was is Robert Gallery we drafted. We could have actually got Larry Fitzgerald, the wide receiver, and it was a higher draft value than Robert Gallery. And Robert Gallery was a left tackle, but he had short arms, and they switched him to right tackle, and he struggled. And then he really struggled against guys like what's that linebacker from the
if I look
Chargers
at this list,
that
right? Sorry to interrupt.
Sean
look at this list.
Hartman, I think his name is.
Okay, but because I'm just looking
at
this list.
He really did.
If you look at
Gallery.
just right tackle, right? Just right tackles. You got Andres Pete, not better than fucking Illuminor. Trent Brown, he ain't coming back. He's got a weight problem. Jonah Williams ain't better than fucking Illuminor. Like, as much as people want to think he is, he ain't. James Hurst, I wouldn't take him over Illuminor. George Fant, wouldn't take him over Illuminor. Billy Turner, wouldn't take him over Illuminor. Like, David Queensberry, wouldn't take him over Illuminor. Kendall Lamb, not him either. Like, Charlie Heck, not him either. Like, there's no real tackle. Like, that's just pure right tackles, right? Then if I go to, like, just tackle, because some guys do play both. Rarely. But, Tyron Smith, that's a left tackle. Janine Brown, left tackle. Josh Nijim, not better than Luminor, mostly a left tackle. Cornelius Lucas, left tackle. Donovan Smith, left tackle. Even Oli Uday, even though he can play both, kind of, he's more of a left tackle.
Yeah, that's the same thing with Trent Brown. He plays both.
Yeah, Cameron. Yeah, he does play both, but I wouldn't say he's a better right tackle than Luminor, though. Cameron Fleming, not better than Luminor at right. Isaiah Wynn, take him over fucking Luminor. Like, I've gone through pretty much the whole list there, and there's not one guy on there that I would actually say is an upgrade over Luminor at right tackle, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I've seen Mumford. He plays good as a right tackle, but he played better but he played a lot better as a left tackle, though. It's like some people didn't realize,
as a right tackle, Mumford's problem is he's a great run blocker as a right tackle, which you kind of want on the right side. But the problem with Mumford is just going to develop his pass pro.
Well, I think what it is I think he doesn't line up right. That's where he struggles. He has those long arms, but I think he's still young and he could be improved. But you want a proven commodity right now. But But Brandon Parker was not a good right tackle backup. He was a good left tackle backup. Because
Yeah, I agree.
when this was during Gruden's time, when Colton Miller was hurt and was out for one game, Brandon Parker blocked pretty damn good. He blocked Bosa pretty damn good as a
Yeah,
left.
he's more of a left tackle than a right tackle, in my opinion.
Yeah, Brandon Parker is a true left tackle. He's not a right. I've seen him.
And that's more proof that some guys can only play one side. And this is, I feel like this has become a problem in the NFL. Like, as I was really thinking about this the other day, like going all the way back to the days when we had Lincoln Kennedy, is that a lot of tackles coming out of college nowadays, most guys try and be left tackles because there's more money in left tackle than what there is in right tackle. And because that's been going on for a while now, it's kind of created this discrepancy in the NFL where a lot of right tackles nowadays, they just aren't up to that same level as a guy like Lincoln Kennedy was.
Yeah,
like they just aren't up to that same level. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, Orlando Brown was a right tackle
he was
for the Ravens, but the Chiefs wanted him, and he said, well, I want to play left tackle so he can get paid more money,
Exactly, and that's what I mean. And I think because there's such a discrepancy between the left tackle and the right tackle as far as contracts go, it's created this fucking, like this, this talent kind of problem at the right tackle spot.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
But most of the right tackles are guys that would be like, if they were a left tackle, they'd be a backup kind of build. Like, they're not at the same level as a guy like Lincoln Kennedy was back in his day, or Orlando, as you said, Orlando was at the Carolina Panthers, I think it was. Yeah, like, they're just not up to that same level anymore at right tackle nowadays.
Yeah.
Because back in Lincoln's day, the run game was more predominant still, so the right tackles were a higher caliber, I guess you could say. But a lot of the right tackles nowadays, they're just not as good, especially in the pass blocking kind of stuff. But they just, you get the occasional good one still, but it's just like there's such a depletion at that spot, man. That's why most teams just draft right tackles now.
Yeah.
And then try and develop them.
Yeah. When we got Alex Leatherwood, we tried to put him as a left tackle with Gruden's system.
You mean right tackle, yeah.
A right tackle, but he's really a left tackle and a left guard. But he
was actually a right guard. Yeah, no, he was a right guard. At Alabama,
in Alabama, he was a left tackle. He played probably both positions. If you played guard,
they probably would have moved him around. They tend to move him around at the start of college to see where they're good at. But I'd say that Leatherwood's best spot would have been right guard.
I mean, Leatherwood just wasn't very good as a tackle, period.
No,
he was better as a guard because he was a really good run blocking guard. And I'm thinking the guy, it's not his fault. I mean, Gruden made an adjustment, said, you know what, I fucked up. He's a guard, not a tackle. And then McDaniel says, you know what, I want to see how good he can play as a left tackle. Well, didn't you already learn from Gruden? He fucking sucks as a left tackle. Then he says, you know what, he sucks as a left tackle. Fuck him, he's out, He just got rid of our former 17th pick of the first round. And it was like, that was just the dumbest move ever. Just move him as a guard.
What they should have done is put him at right guard and see how he went.
Yeah, where he originally was at, But Josh McDaniels,
I feel like he was improving at right guard. That's what I think. But I think what happened is his confidence got shot. You could kind of tell in his interviews, man. The way they kept fucking around with him, they killed his confidence.
Yeah, I could see though the Alex Leatherwood could possibly be reunited with John Gruden in the Saints though. There's a good possibility.
Yeah, they probably get him on the cheap and then have him be like a backup or whatever the cheap they can get his confidence back.
Right now he's his practice squad. He was practice squad for the Cleveland Browns, and now that contract's expired, so he could be picked up by anybody right now.
Who's that? Who can be picked up by anybody?
Could be picked up by anybody would be Alex Leatherwood, because he was on practice squad with Cleveland, because he went from with us, then he went to the Chicago Bears, and then he went to practice squad for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I feel like his development was fucked because they didn't keep him at one position. They killed his confidence.
Yeah, I think he could still be under the right head coach, he could be a better player.
I think so too. I think he could still develop at right guard or something like that in the right system.
Yeah,
They should,
I don't.
especially a team that runs West Coast. If they ran a West Coast
Yeah.
system like Gruden did, he'd be good at run blocking, I think, in the right guard spot.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been utilized by Josh McDaniels too. Josh McDaniels is just a fucking idiot, though.
Yeah.
That is
I wanted to
bad.
give Josh McDaniels a fair go, but yeah, Josh McDaniels had an ego and he was a fuckwit.
Yeah.
He fucked us on CJ Stroud too.
Yeah. But you know what, though? Ziegler should have overran him, though. Should
He
say,
should have.
listen, motherfucker, we're getting CJ Stroud, and you're going to fucking work with him.
If
Yeah,
we're
he
getting
should've.
DJ Stroud, if you like it or not, fucking,
Yeah.
that's what we should have fucking told him. You fucking don't like it, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he should have said. But, you know, I think Ziegler just went woman route and, you know, put his panties on and just went with Josh McDaniels, you know.
He said, all right, babe, no problem. No problem, baby. I got you. I got you, baby. Don't worry. When they come at us, we're both quitting together. Don't worry. No motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's what shits me about Ziegler, because Ziegler had decent fucking talent evaluation skills, but he just sucked at having some fucking
Fuck,
balls
he was
enough
a
to
baller, bro. He was a fucking baller. We fucked that one up, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
We definitely fucked that one up.
Yeah, I feel like we should have just fucking shipped on fucking Josh, dude. Like, why do we have to give up on fucking Ziegler, too? I mean, I don't know what the hell they were, and what conversation led to that fucking decision, but whoever made that decision, they shouldn't have been making the decisions. Because like I said, I would have most definitely kept him. I mean, we want to be going through. He has great value of player evaluation. He has great insight on people. Like, he's really good, man. So I would have most definitely kept around for a little while longer before he just off this fucking guy like he was nothing. You know, but we keep Kelly, dude, and then people are ranting on and on about, well, why isn't Kelly getting to look at it and this and that? Kelly got to say again. What did he say?
Is Dustin muted or is it my shit fucking up?
Rudy, you hear me?
I can hear Dustin. I can hear him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Fucking.
I'll come back in.
But either way, fucking. No, fucking got me off topic now. I can't even remember what the hell I was talking about. What were we talking about?
We're talking about Ziegler. You know,
Oh yeah, Ziegler, fucking Ziegler. I mean, like I said, I like him. He was a boss, dude, and I wish he wouldn't have fucking went out with fucking Josh. I wish we would have kept him. I wish he would have been able to stay. But if he was with them, it is what it is. That's just how ride and die partners. That's the way you come in. That's the way you're gonna go out. So that's his decision, and that was his decision to make. So outside of it, is what it is. I mean, but I really do wish we could have kept him, man. Like, if I was saying I didn't, I'd be lying straight up.
Oh, yeah.
My bad, guys. I'm trying to.
I think Ozzy dropped again.
Oh, did he? Fuck, dude, I'm over here fucking yapping away.
No, it's my bad. I had a phone call and somehow I fucked my shit up. I couldn't hear you talking, so I had to sign back in.
Alright. I love how my damn computer can be used. Like, I can have it set up like if it was like my phone, or I can have it set up like if it was like fucking straight up Instagram. Like, it's weird. I don't know. Let's see what other topics we got to fucking top on here. Fucking. I mean, you pretty much talk on Jonah Williams. We're not talking on that one. I don't know. We said the worst Super Bowl fucking
prediction.
Yeah, I guess you can go to that one. the prediction is.
I think it's like a bad taste to say this, but I think that the Chiefs are going to win this one. Andy Reid, he's just pure. He's been in this situation before, being in the playoffs and the Super Bowl, and I think the 49ers, though, they're just going to play the same way the Eagles play. It's going to be skill versus talent. And that's what the Chiefs went through with the Eagles, and the Chiefs overcame them, overcame the more talented Eagles. But the way the Chiefs are going to do this is they found ways to stopping guys, because McCaffrey is the best weapon on offense for the 49ers, in my opinion. But if you stop him, or if you outscore him and put more points, then you take McCaffrey out in the running game and you have to put him in the passing game. And I think that would favor the Chiefs because of their experience and their skill play. I think that with the 49ers, they've been exposed by both Green Bay and even Detroit. And I think that the Chiefs, though, they're more likely to win over the 49ers. But like I said, anything can happen. It could be an upset and the 49ers win, which I'd like to see happen. But, I have a bad feeling that the Chiefs are going to win. I look at Andy Reid, great play caller. He does great at he's great at controlling the time on the clock and everything. And, it's just, this is going to be really bad.
Can't forget that he has one of the biggest losses in Super Bowl history too, Shanahan. So, like I say, it can most definitely be very bad.
Yeah, but I just don't think that and this is going to be a West Coast offense versus a West Coast offense. So it's I just think that Andy Reid, he's the best West Coast offensive head coach in the NFL.
How would you guys feel if you had to pick between the offensive coordinators, right? What if you had to pick Bieniemy, Eric Bieniemy, fucking oh my bad. So let's say you had to pick between Bieniemy, fucking Kubiak, and let's say Cliff. Who would you guys want to go with? Who do you think is going to bring the best success to our team right away?
Well, probably Cliff, but I also like Bieniemy though.
Yeah, I think.
Robert, appreciate you, bro.
Eric Bieniemy. I think with him, he needs a more less young team. I think with a really young, less team would because he's a little more complicated system. And when you got a quarterback like Ian O'Connell, or it depends on if we keep him as our quarterback or a backup quarterback, it could backfire. It just, although he did work with a quarterback who got sacked the shit out of, but I'd say, I would probably go with, I like to go West Coast, but if I go West Coast, I go with Kubiak, but probably the best option might be Kingsbury, though, because he can really work with younger quarterbacks, and he can make really good trickery plays. You'd be getting a guy who would be kind of like a Bill Musgrave for us.
Yeah, and his experience too. Like he's an experienced player for both OC and head coach.
So, do you think he would be the best? Do you think he'd be the best because we wouldn't have to waste our first round pick on a quarterback, or do you think he's the best because he'll have the fastest success with the team? What do you think?
I think it's because he has the success. Yeah. And I think also the fact that he's he's been a quarterback's coach too. I think he can be a good and he's proven to develop quarterbacks. I think he'd be able to come in and evaluate like where Aiden's really at straight away, so we know whether we need to draft a quarterback or not.
So if you guys were going to say, with the roster that we have put together right now, with Patrick Graham fucking as the defensive coordinator, AP as the head coach, fucking, Marvin Lewis, the guy that looks over fucking AP fucking up, yada, yada, yada. You guys believe that did you say Cliff?
Yeah, Cliff.
I was thinking Cliff would be the best guy, yeah.
He'd be the best guy to get us to the playoffs, if not Super Bowl.
I don't know about Super Bowl playoffs unless
about Super Bowl, but
I don't think he's good enough to beat Andy Reid, but I think he's good enough for us to beat teams outside our division,
Do you think Eric is good enough to beat Andy Reid?
No, I don't think so. I mean, just because he knows Andy Reid doesn't mean anything. Look at John Harbaugh. He knew Andy Reid, but Andy Reid said, "You're not slaying this Sith Master."
Yeah, but do you think so what I mean by that is do you think Eric, you're saying he can't beat Andy Reid because Harbaugh, because I'm saying when Eric comes, like say Eric's on ours, he'll be playing the defense. He knows that defense very well. He's practiced against that defense for years.
Yeah, but we know that defense too, and we've neutralized that defense. But it's the offense that you got to neutralize. That's the main threat. The defense, we all know what the Chiefs will do. They take risks. They blitz like crazy. They'll make unnecessary.
Do you think that he would have an insight on? So you don't think he would have an insight on being able?
Well, we already have an insight on their defense. We already have it.
No, I'm saying an insight on their offense.
Not really, because Andy Reid could change his offense a little bit. It doesn't. They play a different. He changes. He doesn't keep the same. I mean, he might know the basics of the offense and all that, but Andy Reid just likes to make it a little more complicated. And even if he knows it, sometimes it depends on what players we put on defense, because there's like special plays for Travis Kelce where it's like he's unstoppable. It doesn't matter what linebacker, what safety, what corner you put on him, on his special play where they put him as a slot receiver.
Has Cliff played Andy with the Cardinals?
Probably.
Look up Cliff Kingsbury's record versus Andy Reid.
I think they might have. I don't know if we played them with Kingsbury. I think the Chiefs beat them with Kingsbury. Let me see.
I would just like to know, like, just on my behalf, and where should I go, McDonald's or Burger King? Which one? McDonald's
Burger King, the best, man.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll go Burger King. Damn, I hate fucking.
You get more of a meal with Burger King than McDonald's too.
I fucking hate both these places, man. But whatever, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Mute my mic for a minute.
Okay, here it is. Reid versus coaching matchup. Oh, Sunday. Yeah, Reid. I think Reid. I don't know. I'm trying to look for the record, but shoot, I don't know. They're both good with quarterbacks. That's where they both are similar to each other. Let me see. Coaching record. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Summary over Kingsbury applying. Well, Kingsbury's 28-37-1 with the head coach from 2019 to 2022. Yeah, I think they did Yeah, I remember the Chiefs beat them during that time, and we had Josh McDaniels, and we were kicking the shit out of Arizona, and Kingsbury was still on the team, and then they came back and beat us. You know, so yeah, Andy Reid did beat him once. Because I'm looking at that 22, you know, that was his last year. And
All right,
yeah.
so say that again. What was it? My bad.
Yeah, we when Josh McDaniels was our head coach for let's see, we're 22 to 23. You know, we played against the Arizona Cardinals, but before we played them, the Chiefs played the Arizona Cardinals, and they beat their asses like it was nothing. And we played the Cardinals, and we were winning against them. We're whooping their ass. We shut them out in the first half, and then the second half they came back and beat our ass. And that's what.
Barbecue sauce. All right. All right, Rudy, man, my bad, bro. I'm fucking got you, this guy talking, everything. That's my fault. All right, so say it again, and I'll be attention. So you said that what happened now?
Yeah, in 2022, Kingsbury was still a head coach with the Arizona Cardinals. They played the Chiefs. The Chiefs beat their asses. They played us. We were whooping their ass in the first half. We shut them out. And then the second half, they came back and beat us. And that was in 2022.
And then, Cliff has only played them one time in his time span.
Yeah, he only played Andy Reid once.
What about, well, the Niners? Did the Niners play the Chiefs this year? Probably not, huh?
No, they haven't.
What about the Vikings? Can you look up, did the Vikings play the Chiefs through 19 and 21? 19, 20, and 21?
Let's see. I'd have to look up. I could go to Yahoo Sports and find out where.
Because I would say, how well did frickin' Kubiak call the offense against the Chiefs, you know, against Andy Reid in the defense when he was over there with the Vikings?
Yeah.
Probably give us a better idea because he was there for 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I just want to go with what's best for our team. I want to go with what's best for, you know, going to be growth for the organization and going forward, dude. Like, I'm tired of going and picking out these people and then not working out. It's like I said, if they feel like a Cliff Kingsbury was the guy, he would have already been signed, I feel 100% that way. I feel like they want to go after a guy that's going to be here for more than a few years.
Yeah, they lost to the Chiefs in 2019.
Yeah, that's fact. They need some continuity in the coaching.
Yeah, fact.
Okay, and then now it's 19. Now let's see if they play him in 2020.
Hey, Robert said they need to fire he said we need to vote Mark Davis out. Well, at least I seen the world champion Raiders play in '84 in Los Angeles. Till we get rid of Mark Davis, we will win. So he's saying get rid of Mark Davis and we'll win. I don't disagree with that shit.
Yeah, 2021 to 22, they lost to the Chiefs again too. So 19 and 21, they've got
Mark gets a haircut, we'll start winning.
Well, maybe shave his head bald.
Shave his head bald and make him look like Darth Vader, and then maybe we'll start winning games.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think there's so many things that can make our team good, make or break our team. And did Patrick Graham say that he's staying with the Raiders for sure? Like, there's no more head coaching jobs that he can probably take or anything like that?
I mean, something can still pop up. I mean, at the moment, I haven't heard anything on it, but you never know. I mean, we're still in the off season, so.
Yeah.
Is there anybody still looking for head coaches like Washington, right? I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're looking for. The Falcons were looking for. They wanted Jim Harbaugh, but Jim Harbaugh chose.
Did Carolina pick a head coach yet?
I don't know. Let's see, Patrick Graham. We get the news on him. I think he's still. The fans value Patrick Graham more than any draft picks. Seahawks wanted Patrick Graham.
They haven't signed a head coach yet, have they?
I don't know.
So I said we might end up having a bigger problem than we really realize. I mean, I get it. At one point, we're sitting here hoping that we're looking for an offensive coordinator, but fuck, at the same moment, we can be looking for a defensive coordinator too. You know, like let's just say Seattle's like, fuck it, we want Patrick Graham. Boom, there you go. I don't know, man. I mean, I like a lot of the hires we got because I do like the Marvin Lewis hire that he brings experience to the team. He brings, you know, that experience from the NFL. I mean, again, he was with Baltimore when they won the Super Bowl in 2000, so he knows how to call a good defense. It's not like he doesn't. I've said even when he was with the Bengals, he wasn't a bad coach. I liked him as a coach, you know, like there's a lot of goods and bads that come with him, you know. I've just said, like, he's been over there with Arizona and with Herm, and it's not like those two are just kicking the shit out of every college team out there, you know. So you got to always think, like, just because of their names doesn't mean you're just going to win everything. And then for me, I think for me, fuck, I don't know. I don't know how I would go about it because there's a lot of good hires being hired. The DB backs, the fucking Ricky, all these guys, they're all good people. They've all had very good success in the NFL. They all have had very good success with their teams. I've said it. I just want to have more continuity with OC for sure, and with the make sure that Patrick Graham is going to be a fucking Raider, like 100%, you know. And maybe you said it or not, but I haven't heard it. Like, I know he's been in the presser. I know certain things, but I've said, like, somebody can pop up with the head coaching job ASAP.
4 days ago, he was interviewed with this Seahawks for it says Seahawks coach candidate. So it doesn't say head coach, but I think he was head coach. But I don't think they're going to take him, though. I don't know what the Seahawks.
I mean, is there even anybody that you've even thought about that if he was to leave, that you would frickin' have anybody to replace him? Thanks, man.
The only guy I can think of would be Marvin Lewis himself. That would be the only replacement.
Yeah, and I mean, do you think that there's somebody out there?
Yeah, the Seahawks are targeting Matt Daniel and Johnson as head coaches. So it doesn't look like they're going to go after Patrick Graham.
What defensive coordinators are out there even?
I don't
like
know.
That are available?
I don't know. I think if Patrick Graham were to be gone, I think you got to make Marvin Lewis the defensive coordinator.
That's who you go with?
Yeah, because that's what I would do.
I'm not gonna lie, he's probably the most experienced at it right then and there.
Yeah, especially when you have an inexperienced head coach like AP, and you know, AP's not going to run that defensive coordinating job. Fact is, though, if he was the defensive coordinator, I think he would struggle really bad. But him as a head coach, and if he has a lot of good coaches around him, he could get away with. He'd be just like Jack Del Rio, kind of like in a way, but you know, but an inexperienced version of Jack Del Rio. Because Del Rio, he knows how to fix defenses a little bit, but he was not good at offenses. His best guy was Bill Musgrave, when Musgrave was gone, he was garbage trying to turn a quarterback coach into a offensive coordinator, and now it's Todd Downing, and he sucked.
Yeah, sorry, I had a phone call, guys.
Yeah.
If you feel like if AP, let's say AP had to run the defense this upcoming year,
Ooh.
what do you think our record would be?
It would be much worse because that's all Patrick Graham. Sure, the guys might play more motivated, but I don't know. Patrick Graham makes good defensive schemes. He started doing that a lot more when Josh McDaniels was gone. You know, we're going to play that probably basic defense, and then probably not do a lot of blitzing or any disguise.
I think AP would be worse than Gus Bradley. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, well, Gus Bradley.
At least
Gus was good with the D line and linebackers, but he was terrible with his zone defense with the secondary, because we were beating the Chargers ugly, and they almost came back and beat us. That's the only thing I didn't like was his zone defense in the secondary.
But that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he improved Mad Max Crosby. He really did improve him. Because he was an upgrade from Mad Max, but
I think that was Rod Marinelli, though.
Well, actually, Marinelli really did improve. Before Marinelli, it was what's his name?
DeForest Buckner. Not DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, Buckner. You got the right one. Defensive line coach Buckner. He improved him. But what Bradley did was he changed the technique a little bit. Like he told because he trained Joey Bosa, and he said with his technique how to do a spin move. If you saw Crosby, he does a spin move sometimes, but he usually uses long arms and just pushes guys out of the way, and he just bends through and gets to the defender. But he does the Bosa spin sometimes too, and that's what Bosa does. He's like a great white. He's like a gator, actually, not a shark, but a gator. He does it like the death roll, and when he does a death roll, it's hard for offensive tackles to use their arms to tackle, to push him away, because their arms get twisted, and then he gets right through to the quarterback and sacks him, even with the tackle, pushing on him or trying to push him. That death roll move that Bosa does.
Plus, he does that 3-step move where he goes like inside, outside, and then fucking back inside spin.
Oh yeah, that's death roll. Yeah, like
that cuts. Yeah, it cuts motherfuckers like a knife, dude. He just drops them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, Max is on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. If you guys had to pick best OC, worst OC, who would it be?
The worst OC?
Yeah, like let's just say we don't get the guys we want. Who would be like the last guy you guys would want to see AP and then go out and hire?
Much as I hate to say it, and I liked him for a while, was Hugh Jackson. I think Hugh Jackson would be the worst OC. I think he's a little outdated. I think he was much better during the mid-2000s, but I would say he would be the one right there. I'm pretty sure there's some other ones close to him too, but
And he's been fired from his job.
Yeah, he's been
and he has ties with AP from Washington.
And he has ties with also Marvin Lewis, because if you think about it, Marvin Lewis was the guy that hired him.
Yep.
Yeah. So he has a lot of Cincinnati Bengals ties and everything, and that could be the worst thing for an offensive coordinator. But hopefully, though, with the general manager, with of course AP, they will get a better OC. AP doesn't know about OCs that well, but Tom Teleko, whatever his name is, he'll find an OC. You never know. Could end up getting a Chargers OC, which I don't know.
I've been feeling more.
Yeah, could end up getting him. You just never know.
He has connection with. He has connection with Frank. Yeah, Frank Wright and Tom. I guess they go back from. When did they say that he was with them? Was it with the Chargers?
He was with. I know that Tom Teleko, whatever his name is, was at the Chargers for a while, and he got some guys, but then some people said he had some misses later on, but I don't know. I think his best hits were the receivers that he got.
I know that article you read, and I think that guy's full of shit.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, they're like, oh, if the Raiders are to hit on hits like Tom did in San Diego, then we're doomed. Yeah, oh fucking K, half their players are better than any players we've had in fucking long time.
Yeah. They had what it was is their players were they're great talent bases, but they just did not utilize them. That's what it was. They had, and I know people don't like Jerry Jeudy, but Jerry Judy's not a bad receiver. Like he's from Alabama. Alabama had two of the best receivers in the draft, which was Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy. Those guys, I thought they were great. And I looked at myself. I knew we were going to get a wide receiver during that time in 2000 and I think it was 19. Yeah, 19. No, 20. And I was like, we're going wide receiver. I know it's going to be these three, one of these three. It's going to be either CeeDee Lamb, Henry Ruggs, or Jerry Jeudy. I'll be happy with any of them. And we got Henry Ruggs. And someone said Ruggs would be the better situation as one guy. And I was thinking, he was thinking more like an Al Davis kind of ideology for the deep ball because Henry Ruggs has more of a higher catch per yards higher than Jerry Jeudy because Jerry Jeudy caught shorter passes where Ruggs caught the deeper passes. But Jerry Jeudy had more yards than Ruggs did. But Ruggs was more of a speed demon.
Yeah, but Ruggs had more yards per reception. Though.
Yeah, he had more yards per reception, but
Ruggs' first year. Ruggs' first year, I think he had 28.
500 and something yards.
He had 400 and
400
something. 400 something with 28 or 38 receptions, where where Tyreek Hill had like 68 receptions for 500 and something yards.
Yeah.
Year two, Ruggs in 7 games, and I think that was in 13 games that Ruggs had those yards. He had 13 games for 4 something, 2 touchdowns. Then he came back the following year. In the first 7 games, he already had 400 and something fucking yards, 2 touchdowns. He was wrecking people's lives at that point. So for me, I think it was the better decision for Ruggs because I think Judy's trash as fuck. It just sucks that he ended up killing that lady and fucking Gruden ended up out. I think Ruggs was the better pick.
I agree.
Yeah, we can't predict.
I thought we could have got CeeDee Lamb too. We could have traded up our other pick and went ahead of Dallas and could have gotten CeeDee Lamb instead of going with that stupid corner. It wasn't even worth that pick. That would have been an A+.
Arnett.
Yeah, Arnett.
Imagine if we had CeeDee Lamb and Ruggs. That would have been a dangerous duel. I thought that was.
Yeah, but don't imagine if that would have worked out. We would have had $50 million and 2 receivers.
Well, it depends though.
I know we're going to be paying almost 50 to Adams, so I know that'll work out.
Yeah, it's true, but
or we get that pick and make Dallas give up some picks though. Could like bribe them and stuff.
Oh,
before CeeDee was my guy. CeeDee was my guy, but then later on, I started liking Ruggs a lot more though. But CeeDee Lamb because he was in a better system,
But
though.
I'm gonna head off now, fellas. Have a good show.
All right.
All right, dude.
Yeah.
Have a good one,
I
fellas.
think with
Wait, man. Appreciate it.
yeah. I think with yeah, I do think with Ruggs though. I mean, with CeeDee Lamb, he had Amari Cooper there, and when you have a good wide receiver here, and he was a number 2, it improved him a lot more. And then later on, Cooper wasn't doing too well, and then he became the new number 1 receiver. So he had a better receiver around him. And with Ruggs there, the only guys it was just Waller, Ruggs, and Hunter Renfrow. And of course, we did have that Nelson Aguilar, who Derek Carr made better. I originally didn't want Nelson Aguilar because I did history of him, and he always missed. He had butter figures at the time with Eagles, but then Derek Carr made him look better. He was throwing those balls to him, and he was catching them a lot easier with Derek Carr. And I was like, you know what? I might be wrong about Nelson Aguilar. And then what happens the next thing? He ends up going to the Patriots, and then he ends up going to Baltimore. But I think he should have stayed with the Raiders, and I think Ruggs would have looked even better with 2 speed demons because he's a fast guy. He's a fast guy, but Ruggs had better hands. Ruggs actually was good.
If Eckler would have stayed here in that time and stayed with us, they would have been dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you could rotate Ruggs and Renfrow in the slot. Ruggs does really good in the slot, and he could be good on the razzle dazzle runs too. So but when Ruggs was gone, then you started seeing more production from
Blue James.
Renfrow.
Appreciate you, bro.
But if we play that West Coast offense, I think Renfrow will do if he's still on the team, he will improve. I don't think he'll have 1,000 yards receiving, but he'd be probably maybe a 500 to 600 yard receiver, which is what he should be as a slot receiver.
What's something that you'd like to see the Raiders do in the offseason on the defense and on the offense?
On the defense, I'd like us to. I think on the defense, a defense draft with the corner and defensive tackle position is very crucial in free agency or the draft. You can get them both in the draft, but if we could fill in that gap position with the defensive tackle, it's crucial in the run stop. That's been our Achilles heel. I think the corner position is just a little extra. It's like the extra topping on a adding extra frosting on a cake, and that is what we really need too. But with the offense, free agency, it would not be a bad move to get Baker Mayfield, but I would get him I don't know if I'd go with a long deal. I'd give him a 2-year deal, not a long one, and see how good he plays because he played pretty good with Tampa, but Tampa had some good receivers, and he was in a weaker division. And he's.
Do you think he's going to want to leave Tampa? And how much do you think it's going to cost to get him away from Tampa?
It's going to cost him money. That's the only thing I don't like. He probably might want between.
Are you signing him for like a 2-year, $80 million?
He would take that deal. He would take it. He'd take it, and then he'd want an extension later on. But I don't know if
it's worth giving them a 2-year, $80 million.
But I'll tell you something. He's got a strong arm, but he's not very consistent. Like he cannot keep up with a Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert. But he could do good with the receiver core he has, though. He could probably make up for not being real consistent, though.
So if you heard that the Raiders, if you heard the Raiders, were going into the free agency, right, before the draft.
Yeah.
And the Raiders said, okay, we drafted, or we sign, we cut Jimmy, we cut fucking Hoyer, and we sign fucking Baker, and then we're going to take a quarterback in the later rounds. Would people do you think, would you be happy with that, or would you rather you see us go after a Bo Nix than trying to sign Baker Mayfield?
Wow, that's pretty tough. I think it's possible to have both. It just depends. But if you're going to get a Baker Mayfield, you're not really going to go after a quarterback at all. You're going to probably most likely go, like Ozzie was saying, you're going to go offensive line and then probably defensive line in the second round, or you can go corner in the second round, because that's what you would do. That would be the most logical thing to do. You wouldn't want to get a quarterback because Baker Mayfield's a young guy. He's not old. He's a very young guy. He's young. He's a little bit older than Patrick Mahomes by a year, but other than that, though, he's a young dude. There would be no. It would be unlogical to draft a quarterback if you get Baker Mayfield.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think Baker's success would be here with the Raiders if we were to get a Cliff Kingsbury, so if we were to get a Cliff Kingsbury, a fucking Kubiak, or somebody of the factor, what do you think Baker's success could be? Do you think it would be big here? Do you see us with 10+ wins? What do you think would happen?
I think he would improve under with the Gary Kubiak, which is the West Coast. I think he can adapt to it. And Kingsbury, he's been in a system like that when he was in college, because he was at Texas Tech, and Kingsbury was with Texas Tech, and their systems are about the same. I think he would do. I don't know. We could be I don't know if we go more than 10 wins though. I think 10 wins at the best. Still, because you got Jim Harbaugh, but then Sean Payton, if he doesn't have his quarterback, you're competing against the Chiefs and the Chargers. And I look at us getting 10 wins at the most. But if Sean Payton finds his quarterback, we're gonna go like maybe not more than 7 wins. If Sean Payton finds his quarterback, But it depends. If they get rid of Russell Wilson really easy, and then they just draft a quarterback, it'll take time for them. But we could be at 10 and 17. We'll probably be like maybe a 6th or 7th seed, But if you think about it, you'd see 3 AFC West teams going to the playoffs, You could see the Chargers possibly, if they don't win the division, they can be a 5th seed, a big 5th seed, and we could be a 6th or 7th seed,
I can see the Chargers being the best team in the AFC West. Like, if you're just asking me, I think the Chargers.
They could have a great record.
The Chargers can have the better team overall, offense, defense, and coaching wise, because Andy Reid is so good because he has the offensive mind to run the team the way he does. He has the quarterback to back it up. But let's be real, the offense has struggled massively and dropped balls this year. And are they still in the playoffs and Super Bowl? Yeah, they are. But if you had a guy like fucking Harbaugh, I don't think you get past him with that type of shit. Like, I don't think you can get past him with that type of deal. And again, to sit and act like his team isn't going to be good next year is crazy, because he has a really good team over there. That it's been the coaching, man, for the Chargers. Like, it's just been coaching for years. So
like I said, they could go either way. The Chiefs could be a 5th seed. The Chiefs could be a 5th seed. They could have the same record, and then the Chargers could have just a slight advantage because of divisional wins, and they give them they could be a 1st or 2nd seed, and they could be with 12 or 13 wins, and the Chiefs have the same record as them, but they give the Chargers the big seed because they had more divisional wins than the Chiefs, and it could go something like that, or it could go where the Chargers are a win ahead of them, and they get the number 1 or number 2 seed, and the Chiefs go 5 and we go 6 or 7,
Let's say they got to pick between 3 people come next year, right? Let's say you got to pick between 3 people. and let's say that the Raiders decide that they're just not going to go draft a quarterback, because the reality of it is like, we're not going to trade up. I know people are going to talk about it, and I know people are going to keep bringing it up, but I don't care what anybody says. I don't see Tom, I don't see AP, I don't see all these guys jeopardizing their future and careers right off the first draft of their careers, and especially together, to go give up 2-3 first-round picks to go get Jaden. I just can't see it. It's not going to happen. I'll bet hardcore money it's not going to happen. I don't think there's a scenario that it happens at all. I just can't see it. I think what'll make more sense is we have 9 picks. We would stay pat, see what comes around, fill out the roster for the depth of the players that we need. And I think it would make more sense that way. So either if a quarterback falls to us, that's pretty good. I think we would go after him. But this would be the question I would ask, I guess, is if you had to pick with just if you had to pick between let's say that you have to pick between Kirk Cousins, Russell, and Baker Mayfield, who would you want, and who would you want to go forward for the next few years with at that helm?
Well, really, you'd rather go with Baker Mayfield. He's much more durable than both Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins. He played with an injury, and he was still throwing that ball very effectively. He would be much better. Russell Wilson's getting old, and he's showing some wear and tear, and Baker Mayfield could have maybe, he's still a young guy. He could have 5 or more years, left in him, depending on, I mean, he's not very old at all. So he could maybe 6-7 years, but, like I said, though, he's not a real flashy quarterback. He's got a strong arm. He can make smart plays, but, it depends on his coach too. So, when he was with Carolina, they were a shitty team, and he got cut, and then he ended up going to the Rams, and they beat our team. But truth was, we screwed the pooch. But then he looked a lot better. But when he has a lot of talent around him, he plays better. If he doesn't have very much around him, he doesn't look too well. He doesn't have good protection. He struggles. He'll get pissed off. He'll get frustrated. But if you put the best weapons around him, which we have pretty much the best weapons, he could do pretty good. I mean, Tampa Bay made him look better than he really was. We've never seen him play like he did ever. When he was with the Browns, they were more of a running team than a passing team. And he didn't really throw that ball that great. But then with Tampa Bay, he had Mike Evans and that other guy, I forgot what his name is. When he had those receivers, man, he was looking like a superstar.
Who, Godwin? Are you saying Chris Godwin?
Yeah, Godwin. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. He was looking like
Antonio fucking Brown. I mean, fucking.
Antonio Brown didn't play.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I know. You were saying Baker with it.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield looked like a superstar. He was an easy division. But if you just come to the Raiders, there's no guarantee. Now, there's no guarantee that he's going to take us to the playoffs. With whatever offensive coordinator we have, this is a very difficult division, and we may not have we had a pretty easy schedule last year. I mean, the only tough teams we really faced was mostly the Buffalo Bills, Steelers, and maybe the Miami Dolphins. Other than that, everyone else was easy outside our division. Only the Chiefs and Chargers were the tougher teams till we didn't. There was no Justin Herbert, and it was like a preseason game when we played against the Chargers, and there was no honor in beating that team. It was like we really didn't beat them. We just beat a bunch of backups because no Justin Herbert, and they were tanking it too.
No, that is fact. That is fact.
Yeah, they didn't want to win. But, yeah.
Nope. I mean, do you have anything else that you want to add to the conversation, or do you want to end up in here? Or?
Yeah, we can end it here. My head's starting to hurt me a little bit.
All right, man, no doubt. I mean, like I said, we got a lot to look forward as the offensive coordinators. We got a lot to look forward to as for the team. We have a lot, like I said, making or breaking this offensive coordinator is going to be a big deal. And I've even said with Patrick Graham, until you can get solidified that he's going to be our defensive coordinator, that's still up in the air too, as a loom of that can be another crucial point that we're going to have to be worried about. But outside of it, man, like I said, I had a lot of good conversations on people and so on. We're going to have a lot more on players and things going forward. So outside of it, I really do appreciate all you guys stopping by. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody here on the panel. Appreciate everybody, man. So outside of that, if you don't have anything else to add, I guess we'll see you guys later. We'll see you guys Wednesday at 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. At Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Pacific, or
10
I
o'clock.
don't even know why I'm fucking just spacing it. 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. So outside of that, man, really do appreciate all you guys stopping by. Until Wednesday, appreciate all you guys. Raider Nation for life. Peace out, baby.
Later, everyone.